All right, here we go. Welcome back. Aloha, friends. Thank you so much for joining for a very special late night Team Tarot. Woo! So thank you everyone for joining in. We are just getting things started here. Do me a favor, drop those 1111s in the chat. We're going to get right into our first reading pretty early. Our objective here is to be able to we'll hang out for the next couple hours, and I mean maybe even less. I don't know, because we'll play it by feel. But we're gonna get as many readings in as we can, or at least just like really focus on the quality, not even just the quantity, and also to be able to get as many new Patreon signups as we can. We are right on the verge of reaching 169, and we actually literally just before the broadcast was about to start, we actually did get a new Patreon sign up. So huge shout out to Sarah Hammonds. Sarah, if you're in the chat, like let us know. Let us know if that's you in the chat. So Sarah Hammonds, shout out to you. So let's just confirm that Sarah's in the chat, and then I'll invite you guys to be able to just say thank you to Sarah. So that's pretty cool. Like honestly, I'm curious if it's totally just coincidence, or Sarah's like, oh sweet, okay, I'm just gonna sign up right before the broadcast or something like that, or if it was literally just like an entirely separate circumstance. So shout out to Sarah, just updating the information on screen. So we were at 167, and then boom, we got our first Patreon sign up literally before the broadcast even started. That's manifesting, yo. We're manifesting it. Are we? I mean, it's just happening either way. So sweet. Thank you so much, team. Seeing those 1111s in the chat. Thank you for confirming that you guys can hear me okay. And again, if Sarah is in the chat, let me know, because we'll let you do the draw for the first reading. So yeah, huge thank you to Sarah. Sarah, if you're in the chat, let us know. It's very possible that's what I'm saying. It's possible that Sarah's not in the chat. But either way, please feel free to say thank you to Sarah. So huge thank you to Sarah. So yo, what's up, Weebuy? Jump over to YouTube. Like, yeah, if you're tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, jump over to YouTube. Like, that's the preferred broadcast channel. That way, so because that's like the primary team chat. So like TikTok and Instagram are like where people are landing, but then they're going over to YouTube. So if you're sticking around, of course, right? And if you're just passing by, then thank you either way. So all right, let's get so we're at the verge of almost at 169, and then from there the next objective will be 177 will be our next milestone. And yeah, I'm aiming to reach 200 by the end of the month. I know that seems like a lot, but we're gonna work for it. Okay, so just confirming real quick, I don't think Sarah's here. So there's Sarah. Yeah, like literally as I say that, right? Like that's typical universe. It's just like, oh, okay, I guess there she is. So Sarah, thank you so much. Huge shout out to you for adding your support on Patreon. Awesome. Oh, sweet. Okay, Lunar Indigo. Yeah, Lunar Indigo, that's Sarah's TikTok account and was in the team chat literally earlier. So the chill spiritual team chat that we were doing. Sweet, that's beautiful. Well, Lunar Indigo, thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for getting synced up. And again, you would have got a message after signing up for Patreon, so let me know if you want to join as a leading member just by going into the team chat and just be like, hey, I'm here, and then I'll add you as a leading member. So that's all you have to do. But yeah, huge thank you, and let's give a nice like welcome to Sarah. So thank you so much, Sarah, for joining in. All right, let's get into our first reading then. So Sarah, I know this is your first time joining in for this. So what we're gonna do, the way how we do these team readings, for those of you who are new, if you're new, for anybody here, drop a 333 in the chat. So we do these readings in a way where they're like team tarot readings. But what we do, excuse me, one person within the team at a time will help facilitate the draw. And so what we do, all of us collectively, we're going to set the intention of show us what we need to see. So this is the general idea that we work with when we're doing the tarot readings here as a team. It's not like a fortune telling. It's not a psychic reading. It's more so just a way for us to be able to use the cards as a chance for us to like hold a mirror up and like see more of ourselves and to get additional insight and inspiration. Like that's the thing, like the title of this broadcast is Inspirational Team Tarot. And so again, like from that side of things, it's like taking a message, all the messages that we get is going to be like some sort of gem that comes out of it. So Sarah, for you and everybody here, what I'm going to invite you to do, we're going to guide you through a quick little meditation where we're going to connect with our heart space, focus on gratitude, and then we're going to focus collectively. Everybody tuned in right now, this is like part of the fun. Focus collectively on that intention of show us what we need to see. And then we're going to get like a message from the universe. Oh, and Sarah, since since you did join, when you join on Patreon, and this goes for anybody, when you join on Patreon, and again, help us, for anybody here, go ahead, like sign up for the Patreon now as we're getting into this first reading, and you can be the next person that can help facilitate. But let's reach that 169 like ASAP. Like I want to reach, let's set the target to reach 169 before the top of the hour. So like literally like 12 minutes. I know that's quick, but I think we can do it. So Sarah, let me know, do you want to choose the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck? So this is a tarot deck. This one's like pretty symbolic and stuff like this. This one's a little bit more literal with some very specific Lightworker themes. Both are really good. So whatever you choose is totally cool. So you get to choose, and again, this is like you choosing for the team too. And then again, we'll do a few readings tonight. So tarot or Lightworker Oracle deck. We'll see what Sarah decides, and then we'll move into our next reading. And in the meantime, I'm gonna eat my cereal. This is like my fuel right now, right? I'm gonna turn this into inspirational goodness for you. All right, we're going with the Lightworker deck. Shout out again to those of you tuned in on all platforms. So a quick reminder as we get into this reading, for those of you, if it's your first time, welcome. We encourage you to jump over to the YouTube, and then that way you can just be like involved with the primary chat there. So if you're tuned in on TikTok or Instagram or even Facebook, click the link in my profile for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, and then right at the top it will say join in on YouTube. Like it'll have the link for the YouTube. So we encourage you to join on YouTube. All right, is everybody eating cereal? That's funny. All right, Sarah, let's get right into this reading. So again, for everybody here, focusing on intention and show us what we need to see. So Sarah, just follow my instructions, follow my lead, and we'll walk you through this. And thank you again for your support on the Patreon. Let's do this, and let's keep an eye open for that next Patreon sign up. It only takes like 5 minutes to sign up for the Patreon. Once we get into the reading, you guys can like do it while we're going. So for everybody here, take a moment to just close your eyes and gently just connect with your breath. Gentle inhales, taking a nice full breath, and maybe for some of you might be like the first like real full breath of the day. Let out like a couple sighs. You can just do a couple of those for everybody here. We're just getting warmed up. Do another one of those. Inhale, nice bit of a sigh. Beautiful. For everybody here, just bringing yourself into this space of gratitude, taking a moment to just acknowledge all the amazing people who are part of this community, who are part of this team, who are tuned into this broadcast, who are vibing with us right now, and just sharing that gratitude and receiving that gratitude. And so, Sarah, and for everybody here, focus on the intention of show us what we need to see. Us as in individuals, us as in the collective, us as in the planet. Show us what we need to see. Speak that intention. Speak it with your heart. Speak it with your mind. Speak it with your words. Speak it with your soul. And as you're doing that, Sarah, take a few more breaths. Take a few more breaths, and when you are ready, gently type now into the chat. And when you type now into the chat, we'll charge the deck and we will pick a card. And that's where like the synchronicity unfolds. So go ahead, Sarah, take a couple more breaths. And when you're ready, type now into the chat. And for everybody here, type in your wizard noises in the chat as we charge the deck. And so, my friends, here we are back once again, hanging out late at night. We're gonna learn the lessons from the left and the right as we continue to let the veil unfold, as we continue to bring forth this wisdom that's infinitely old. And so as we look into the sacred mirrors of this magical deck, we will allow ourselves to see a message that will help us step into our best. So sending good vibes to all of you who are part of this team as we continue to unlock more wisdom within this dream. Now, says Sarah. The sound effects. It's all about the sound effects. All right, let's take a look and see what we got. Like seriously, just the mere act of like flipping the card. Like I haven't looked at it yet. There's always like this like little like dopamine release, and I think that's why some of you keep coming back. It's like, oh, like what's? It's like opening up a little present from the universe. It's like every card is like, it feels like Christmas, or it's like Magic the Gathering when you open up that new deck and you get a hologram in it. That feeling. All right, let's see what we got. All right, cool. Okay, so this is a card. Some of you are familiar with this card, but this is a powerful card to be able to share, and I think it's one that's like really relative, even with what we're kind of like thinking about with like Mercury retrograde themes and stuff. So the first card that we have pulled for tonight, on behalf of Sarah, our newest Patreon member, but again for everybody here, is card number 24, Initiation by Air. So I'm going to open up the deck here, the book. And so the way how we do this is I'll read from the book first, and then from there I'm going to like channel additional information and inspiration. So to start off, I am going to explain to you like literally what's in the image of the book. So again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead, click the link in my profile to jump over to YouTube. For those of you on Facebook, you can click the link in the comment. And as we're doing this reading, just encouraging you to listen to this like a meditation. Allow yourself to just like receive. Drop an 1111 down in the chat and let us know. Like if something resonates with you as we're reading it, drop an 1111 in the chat. So, and let's keep an eye on getting that next Patreon sign up. Yo, like let's do that. Like let's hit that 169 goal like ASAP, and then we'll be working towards our next goal. So again, if you're new, again, when you sign up to the Patreon, it's a monthly micro contribution of $11. But when you join at that level, you can join as what we refer to as a leading member, and this is like a private community space. You get to join our team space for conscious creators and leaders. You get to join our team podcast, work with me as a conscious media creation coach, and to be able to get discounts for the shop and other cool stuff. So check out the Patreon, and link is in my profile. You can do that there, and the link is in the info top corner for those of you on YouTube. All right, let's get right into this. Here we go. Thank you again, everyone. Looking at this image visually, what do we have here? We have this image of this masculine figure standing there with their chest and arms just kind of open to the sky as these like beautiful like birds, and they're not even like regular birds. I think they're like light birds. Y'all ever seen light birds before? And so this person, he has like wings too. So there's a lot of themes with like wings and air, obviously being initiation by air. And of course you got this like beautiful sunset. They're wearing some pretty cool like dress robe there, and you got these beautiful like kind of like hills and everything in the background. And again, that's just like explaining the literal. In their face looks very, very kind of like relaxed and open. So let's read a little bit more about what it says within the book, and then from there we'll dive deeper into some channeled messages that I'll bring through. So, and by channeled, I literally just mean like channeling creativity, channeling like whatever wisdom wants to come through in the moment from my heart. So here we go. All right, team. If you guys want, for those of you on Instagram, you can like take a story of me reading, like you can film video of me reading and then post it to your Instagram story and then tag me in the story. You can do that if you want. That helps. However you want to share it. All right, okay, this is a dope image. So again, if you're like new to this, then yeah, welcome, and allow yourself to just kind of like receive the inspiration. So listen, this message is for you. Number 24, Initiation by Air. You have a strong and powerful mind. The mind can be a great asset. It can bring comfort, peace, and strength as you take your spiritual journey. It can also be a dark and destructive force, undermining your power, making you doubt your own heart and keeping you trapped in fear. The mind developed without a loving spiritual practice can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. How will you choose to use your mind power? Your mind can become more spacious and luminous if you practice emptying it on a regular basis. The radiant mind can be a mighty warrior against fear and despair, encouraging you with thoughts of optimism. When not given a chance to empty, however, the mind becomes overwhelmed with unprocessed information. Much of it will be fear-based perpetuated by much of it will be fear-based programming perpetuated by mass media, which is invested in controlling others by manipulating them with fear. This initiation, which liberates and opens the mind, empowers advanced souls to free themselves from manipulation and control. The hallmark of a dysfunctional society is that the mind is expected to dominate the inclinations of the heart rather than serve it. I'm going to reread that again. That's very, very important. The hallmark of a dysfunctional society is that the mind is expected to dominate the inclinations of the heart rather than serve it. The mind can be trained to be a great manager, creator, and defender of what has genuine value to the heart. But the power to feel what has meaning for us and what moves us enough to rise above our fears and risk growth comes from the heart, not the mind. When the mind is given the task to feel and the heart is told not to feel, paralysis, confusion, and discomfort are experienced. As you enter into this initiation, you will feel the need to step back from what you had been taught and learn to question what you once held to be true. As you disengage from habitual mental patterns, you will begin to observe your thoughts rather than be swept up in them. Soon you will begin to experience yourself as the peaceful, steady light of love that you are in truth. Will the mind go through its motions? Yes. However, there is no need to be afraid of this, one step at a time. Your spirit shall guide your mind back towards peace. You will change the way you relate to your own mind, becoming more empowered. As you soften the strident action of the mind, you will see that you can use the mental gifts wisely, rather than allowing them to cause you pain. Those who have strong mental energies can accomplish much in terms of communication, invention, and creativity. But they often also suffer from destructive self-talk and mental obsessions. They may even be addicted to thinking, which can wear them out and create cravings for sugar that can lead to depression and illness. Instead, it is much better to regularly take time out from the mind and be in the moment, feeling energized, playful, and at peace. Your mind is a playful creature. Tame it with persistence, compassion, and kindness and strength. Give yourself rest and an opportunity to switch off and empty your mind as regularly as you can. There is no need to judge or despair. This is an advanced initiation and one that is brought to you only when you are ready. Consider it a sign of your spiritual progress. The world will benefit from you as you learn to handle your mental energies more constructively. This oracle is indeed an omen of greater peace and happiness in your imminent future. Powerful, powerful card there. So again, if any of that resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube with the rest of the team chat there. And yeah, let's dive a little bit deeper into this, and we'll just riff with it. So again, this is just going to be me sharing wisdom from the heart. Quick favor, if I can just ask everybody here, if you haven't yet, like this video on YouTube. Like, I think it helps the algorithm. People might tune in randomly. I think it works that way. If you do that, it's super appreciated. So, okay. So we pulled this card one of the last times that we were doing a broadcast. It might have even been last time. I assume it probably was. But every time when I pull a similar card, it's always going to be read from like a slightly different perspective relative to where we are in now. And even though last time, like, I said a whole bunch of stuff that was really meaningful, now I'm kind of like seeing this card and I'm kind of like reading it and I'm feeling called to express things about it in a way that's just kind of like relative to this moment. And so this card is absolutely all about the mind. It's about changing the relationship with the mind, and it's encouraging us to be able to understand how the mind works and how the mind can be programmed when left unchecked. And it's kind of like this idea where this card, one of the main themes within this card, is really encouraging us to think for ourselves. So when you just kind of like let your mind just kind of run free as if it's like an untamed animal, which essentially is like kind of what will happen, then if you don't tame your mind, somebody else will. Somebody else will start telling that mind what to think, what to do, how to behave. And you almost become like an automaton. It's kind of like this term. You get to this point where, again, you're living somebody else's paradigm. You're living the influence of the media, as it literally explains here. You're likely living a story that isn't up to your potential, that isn't really serving your sovereign spirit. And so with this card, it's really reminding you that there are ways in which we can develop a deeper relationship with the mind. And obviously things such as like meditation is a great step in doing so, because you will naturally notice that your mind will wander, but it's the practice of being able to bring it back to a point of focus. That's where your power is. And one of the things that's interesting about this is that I hadn't even thought about it this way. The mind is very much like a tool. And I think the mind, if we were to associate it, we can almost think of like, this is what I'm thinking of. This is like a little bit of a paradigm shift, even as I'm saying it. I'm thinking of the mind more so as being the specific function of the brain that does thinking of like kind of like idea to idea to idea to idea. Like when you're kind of connecting things, like that's like the mind in action. However, when you're kind of in that place where the mind is quite still and there's like another layer of presence, there's kind of like you're just being, you're just in, like what is that, right? Like that's like it, like that's, yes, that's the mind, but let's just like again, you know, the mind is kind of like the action of kind of moving thoughts and thinking things, but when you kind of slow that down, you also really get to connect with what is basically essentially thought of as like your inner being, that kind of natural place of calmness and of stillness. And what does it mean to develop a relationship with that? And some people will go through their entire lives and they barely do, because the mind is always kind of moving. So when we allow ourselves to understand that the mind is like a muscle, and equally so, there are benefits of being able to rest it. You know, you don't go to the gym every single day or else your muscles are going to get exhausted too, right? They need time to rest. And so this is a very powerful card that invites us to be able to practice changing the relationship with our mind, not just for ourselves, but literally like for the collective consciousness, for how we can show up, for how we can meet ourselves. So, as so often the strident action of the mind, you will see that you can use for mental gifts wisely rather than allowing them to cause you pain. Those who have strong mental energies can accomplish much in terms of invention, creativity, but they also often suffer from destructive self-talk and mental obsessions. So again, the mind is kind of like, if you're in this place where you feel like you got a super like kind of like hyperactive mind, that doesn't mean like you're broken. What is it like I mean, again, I'm saying like relatively speaking, everybody's gonna have like their own kind of like relationship and everything like that, but more so that is like your mind's natural ability to like have like a hyper degree of focus where it can kind of like pick certain things, and it can be like, so what we want to be able to do is that instead of just letting the like advanced activity of this mind just kind of scatter, almost kind of like a shotgun where it just kind of like shoots out in all directions. What happens when we take that same energy, like that same creative force that when left untamed is just kind of like do, and we learned how to start channeling that towards things such as our creative expressions, towards our gifts, towards our practices, towards our yoga, towards our meditation. So this is where, again, you know, like with this card, it's a great invitation for us to just be able to be like, yo, like practicing mindfulness and cultivating focus has the power to drastically change our entire life, our entire mindset. It helps make the unconscious conscious, and it helps us become more aware of our patterns and use will to be able to shape our life rather than our life just being shaped like kind of like in an unconscious fashion. And again, like no shame if like you are where you are in order to be able to get to where you are going, and one of the steps to get towards your going is simply to be aware. But again, you have that choice to be able to do something such as like practicing meditation. Get good at letting your mind rest, even if that might be hard for you now. And if it is hard for you now, all the more reason to get good at allowing your mind to kind of rest. So this is an advanced initiation, and one that is brought to you only when you are ready. Consider it a sign for your spiritual progress. The world will benefit from you as you learn to handle your mental energies more constructively. This oracle is indeed an omen of greater peace and happiness in your imminent future. So again, peace worldwide begins from inside. Cultivate that peace inside of you. And as you do this, you can start like directing and channeling that focus, and you can do that towards like your art. You can do that towards your personal development. there's an invocation here, and I'll read that in a second. And again, it really just kind of getting the message from this card that in the process of doing this, we can become more aware of like where our thoughts are kind of like picking up ideas from, and then to be able to start turning that focus more inwards and start cultivating our own perspective, start connecting our own dots, start thinking more for ourselves, and start cultivating new levels of sovereignty within us. So invocation, as I'm reading this, you can just kind of like imagine yourself kind of like hearing it. I call upon the unconditionally loving ones to help me empty and refresh my mind, renewed in eternal love. May I express my freedom in making wise decisions that create joy and love in me and the world. I ask for divine mercy, compassion, protection, and instruction to assist me in bringing my mind into loving consciousness. May the light of the divine shine unobstructed through my mind, bringing peace to the world. May the unconditionally loving helpers of humanity help bring light, healing, and joy to all the minds. Through my own free will, so be it. And so just kind of like adding on to this, again, keeping it simple. If you're just like, but how do I do it? But how do I do it? The answer, like your breath. Learn to be able to realize how powerful your breath is. Your breath can physiologically change your body. And as your physiological, like as you change your body, like physically, just from allowing it permission to relax, that naturally allows you to make it easier to allow you to change the path of that energy, focus it on your mind, and then cultivate this will for your mind to be able to relax. So as we just conclude this practice, this reading here, I literally just invite everyone, let's just like literally just take like 5 breaths. And I want everybody here, if you just like literally just in this moment, just like super, super micro meditation. And I want you to just kind of like observe how your mind will kind of like try to wander. It'll try and kind of pull you away, even just like 2 breaths in. And I want you to gently just kind of like focus it back into the breath, back into that present moment, and just be very gentle with it. So for everybody here, and again, I remind you, we have our team meditations Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. EST. So if like that card resonated with you, like join in for our team meditations when you get a chance. And again, that's through my Patreon and stuff, or sorry, through my YouTube channel. So the recording's all online. All right, okay. Literally 5 breaths here. Everybody here, go ahead, close your eyes, straighten up your spine. This is just a practice. I want you to notice like how relaxed you can get in 5 breaths. And there's no wrong answer to this. Simply observe. So straighten your spine, relax your face, gently inhale. Nice soft exhale, a bit of a sigh if you wish. Take 4 or 5 more breaths at your own pace. Bring your focus back to your breath if you feel it wander. 2 more breaths. And 1 more nice good one. Finish with gratitude. Beautiful. And gently open your eyes, wiggle your fingers, return your awareness to the space around you. Cool. How was that? Awesome. Yeah. And again, you know, like that's the thing I like about this deck, where it's like, it's not just like, hey, this is like fun and stuff like that. It's like, yo, this is like work to do. This is like relevant information for us that we can embody and everything like that. So yeah, if that card resonated with you, if you guys enjoyed the message there, drop an 1111 in the chat. Let me know. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, we got about 5 of you on TikTok, 4 of you on Instagram. If you guys are sticking around for a bit, go ahead, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. So if you're on TikTok and Instagram, that's awesome. I encourage you to join in on YouTube. That way so you can get more in sync with the team in the team chat. And with that reading, inviting everybody here, go ahead, leave an affirmation in the chat relative to that reading. Like that will kind of like help you memorize it. It'll help you kind of like tell your body that what I just said to you was like something you heard. So go ahead, for everybody here, leave an affirmation relative to that reading in the chat. Like something like I will focus my energies towards relaxing my mind, or something like that. You know, I will use my mind to cultivate my creativity. Something like that. Let it just be your own words. So beautiful. Yeah, very relevant personally and collectively. Absolutely. Thank you again, Sarah, for helping us draw that first card. Awesome. Shout out again, just giving shout outs to everybody here. We're going to get into our next reading in a moment. Shout out to Morphic, shout out to Erica, shout out to Dandelion, Sarah, Melissa, Starsoul, Christian, Wolf, and anybody else, Kristen, and anybody else on the YouTube that I didn't mention, Mr. Nolan. I think that's everybody. And Astrolo, and Liana, and Loana. And I'm literally just like scrolling all the way up. It's like, oh, what did I miss anyone? And Sarah. Awesome. All right. And anybody else, I apologize if I didn't mention your name. But again, for those of you tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys want to jump over to YouTube, you can tune in there. If you want to just stay on Instagram or TikTok, that's totally cool. And shout out to everyone. Yo, what's up, Texas? Yo, thank you, Weebuy. Awesome. Hello, Cowboy. Yo, Archer. Yo, what's up? Visham, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. All right. So again, we're going to get into our next reading. Still working on being able to reach that next target goal for the Patreon. So again, we're working towards 169 right now. And 1 second here. So again, just posting a quick link in the chat. And if you guys are like thinking about signing up in the Patreon in the future, even go ahead, drop a 777 in the chat, just to be able to give us a note there. And yeah, what we're gonna do, if someone signs up on the Patreon like literally within the next minute, then that person will help facilitate the next draw. Otherwise, what we are doing is I'll pick a number between a bracket. I'll tell you what the bracket is, and then the first one to guess that number using just 3 guesses will be the person who facilitates the next reading that we do. So thank you again to our recent Patreon supporters. Thank you again to Sarah, to Lily, and to Solomon, and to Melissa, our 4 most recent Patreon supporters. So awesome. Yo, Tex, thanks for joining. Okay, I'm gonna read your guys' affirmations. So if you left affirmations in the chat, I'm gonna read that. Tex says, I will realize the key is in breathing. Beautiful. Erica, I will become more heart-centered while being creative. Awesome. Sarah says, I am abundant and on the right path and will be in the right place soon. Beautiful, Sarah. Kristen, I will open my heart and allow love to overflow into my creative actions. Awesome. Star Soul, I will allow my thoughts to flow without becoming too engaged in them. Beautiful. Good affirmations, everyone. Like you guys did a lot of like there's a lot of like is very well said, and I like how it's kind of like similar things but different. Mr. Nolan, thanks for joining in. Sending you guys so much love to you and the team. So always a pleasure, and rest well. So all right. For those of you tuning in on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead and jump over to YouTube to be able to join the chat there if you wish. And we're gonna get into this next reading. And again, let's work towards reaching that next Patreon sign up. So for anybody here who's ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead. You can do that in the chat. Again, any Patreon supporters, if you guys even want to like update your pledges, you know that's always an option. Again, I do my best to be able to provide you guys with as much value as I'm humanly capable of, while still continuously increasing that value. And so again, when you guys are signed up, think of like the leading members as like a sliding scale. So if you're signed up at 11 and you want to increase over time, that's totally cool, and it's all equally appreciated. Whatever you guys are able to afford is all equally appreciated because it's all relative. So again, it's more like kind of like the energetic signature of you contributing that's the most important. So awesome. All right, let's reach that 169 Patreon and we'll go into our next reading. So yeah, AJ, if you need to update, maybe AJ, maybe your card needs to be updated or something. Yo, what's up, AJ? Thank you for joining too. All right, okay. If anybody's updating and stuff like that, just let me know. If we have some new signups in the next minute, we'll do them for the next reading. But let's do this reading for someone from the chat. So all right, okay, yeah, we'll do a few more readings. Like I'm gonna have to set my bedtime at like 1:30 though, so we might only have time for like maybe like 2 or 3 more readings, maybe even just 2 readings. We'll see. But let's work on getting those new Patreon signups. So thank you again, everyone, for all your support in all forms. And again, if you guys are ready to sign up onto the Patreon, go ahead. Plus, when you sign up, you can get super cool discounts for items like the epic, beautiful Light Guardian crystals. which I have to replace the batteries for on mine. Yeah, they're not lighting up right now. Because I haven't replaced the batteries in a while. I've been using these things pretty regularly, so. My necklace one is lit up, though. That's still lit up. That's like a necklace variation. You guys have seen those, so just imagine that this is changing colors right now. And you can find those through the item shop on the website. All right, let's get into our next reading. So, we'll keep an eye on the Patreon. Thank you again, everyone. For those of you tuning in on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. And what we're going to do, I'm going to give you a bracket for a number, and then the first person to guess, text, yeah, text. We can get you in for the next one, dude. Go ahead, like take your time. For anybody who needs to go to bed, don't stay up too late. It's not just like just one more reading. Just need to stay up one more. Just need to get a little bit more cosmic knowledge. So, all right, okay. So, Tex, thank you so much for. I think Tex is in the process of signing up, so that's awesome. Thank you, Tex. All right, okay. Let's do this. Let's get into our next reading. So let me pick the bracket here. All right, okay, I got it. So I'm going to tell you a bracket for a number. You guys are going to get 3 guesses. Don't guess more than 3 until I tell you you're allowed to. The first one to choose the number is the next person that will do the facilitation. That will do the facilitation for the next reading. Like the next person that will like do the helping us pull it. Okay. All right. So for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys want to get in on the guessing, you have to be in the YouTube chat. So this is applicable for the YouTube chat. Okay, let's do this. All right. Okay. The bracket for the number that you are going to take a swing at guessing is between 300 and 330. So go ahead, start leaving the guesses now. This is like your psychic training too, because I'm going to project it. I'm thinking it right now. I'm thinking it so good. So once you guys start dropping the numbers, I'll start calling it out and stuff like that. And the first one to get it on YouTube is the first one that will do the reading for. So again, if you're tuned on TikTok and Instagram, this is a great time to jump over to YouTube to be able to add in your guesses. And you guys got 3 guesses each, so go ahead and do it like 1 at a time, not like three at once. All right, we've got Mary coming in with 321, and we've got Melissa coming in with 328. We've got Dandelion coming in 324. Tex dropping in the 323. Erica dropping in the 329. My goodness, they're all aiming high today. We've got more people dropping in with Melissa coming in with another 303. We're still going. Oh, they're getting there. They're getting there, folks. It's going to be a marathon. We've got more guesses coming in. Come on, guys. Keep going here. I'm like waiting for more guesses. So go ahead. You guys can keep guessing. And if you've already used 3 guesses, I'll just keep telling you. We've got Kristen dropping in at 317. Between 300 and 330, AJ. Hopefully there's a delay, so I don't know if it might be too late by the time you hear that message. We've got Erica dropping in 313. Mary coming in with a double 313. We've got Dandelion dropping in 311. Oh, they're getting there. We've got Melissa dropping in with a 317. We've got Mary with 303, and we've got Kristen who lands it with a 318. So Kristen gets it. The crowd goes wild. Good job, Kristen. So yeah, it was 318 that time. Good job. All right, so Kristen, you can either choose to facilitate, or you can pass it, like whatever you choose. So all right, you guys can stop your guesses now if you haven't yet. Like there's always a delay, right? So like whatever I'm responding to is like 2 minutes behind what you guys 2 minutes in the future of what you heard. Is that what it is? Is my present your future? My present is your... Yeah, it is. That's kind of weird. That is really weird. I'm in the future right now, like relative to 1 minute. Like I'm literally in the future right now. I can tell you guys everything that's like happening in the chat before it happens. It's really weird. All right, okay, Kristen, let me know if you want to facilitate the reading for this. And yes. Everyone, go subscribe to Kristen's YouTube channel. I wish it was easier for you guys to subscribe to each other's channels. Kristen, if you want to, Kristen, you can leave a link for your YouTube channel in the chat, or I mean, I know people can just type the name in. But yeah, I would encourage you guys to check out Kristen. Kristen is one of our Patreon supporters, so she's starting her journey of creating videos on different social media platforms and everything, and she's already got her TikTok and everything. So And for anybody here, if you guys want to just like drop your TikTok accounts, go ahead, do that, or your Instagram. You guys can do that now. You can do that pretty much at any time, and let me know like which one it is. Say like IG this or TikTok this. Otherwise, it's hard to tell. You're a wizard. Kristen's gonna pass it to Star Soul, I think. All right, okay. When I'm not like doing commentary, I'm just gonna make sure I'm resting my throat, and I'm gonna eat some cereal. That's green tea, so the green tea will keep me going. Let me know what you guys want. Who's facilitating the next draw? Let me know, Kristen. Live tarot reading and cereal eating. How exciting. All right, Star Soul's gonna do this one. All right, Star Soul, this is gonna be a Ananda Tarot one, since this isn't for a new Patreon sign up, so this is gonna be an Ananda Tarot one. But let's definitely, again, let's work towards that next Patreon sign up. So if anybody here, if you guys are ready to sign up, go ahead and and then we will have that additional option to be able to choose from the Lightworker Oracle deck. And I like both decks, but I really like the Lightworker Oracle deck. So awesome. Just making sure you guys, when you guys leave your usernames, usually the chat, it like automatically hides it. So I have to make sure, I sometimes make sure you can still see it. All right, okay, Star Soul, let's do this. And yeah, again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys want to jump over to YouTube, click the link in my profile and you can jump over there. And I'll probably have to restart the TikTok and YouTube, or the TikTok and Instagram feed soon. It only goes for an hour. The chat is saved. Yeah, you can watch the video tomorrow and scroll through it. Yeah. Okay, so with that said, let's get right into this next reading, and thank you again everyone just for hanging out. And yeah, you guys dropping your users if you guys want. Like, again, I know you're leaving them here, but you can also leave them in the team chat as well, like our Discord server. So all right, Star Soul, let's facilitate. What cereal am I eating? It's just like a granola. It's like a granola with some cherry, I think. Is it cherries? Weren't we talking about cherries? I don't know. It's some sort of, I think there's like a little bit of fruit in it. So it's from Farm Boy. So, all right. Okay, team, let's do another reading, and we'll keep an eye on that Patreon. And again, if anybody here, if you're already signed up for the Patreon, if you guys want to adjust your pledges, then you can get in for a next draw. And again, even just like do it just because. So whatever works for you, though, I want you guys to be able to like contribute an amount that you're comfortable with. Like, don't contribute like $500 if you can't do $500, you know? Do whatever works for you. It's totally fine. All right, Star Soul, for everybody here, let's get right into this next reading. Let's do this one. We're going to do this kind of like a quick one. I'm going to like intentionally keep this one quick. So for everybody here, when you are ready, go ahead, gently close your eyes, straighten up your spine. And just taking a moment here, Star Soul, you're going to help facilitate, just inviting everyone to be able to connect with their heart. Allow yourself to just be in this space of gratitude for everybody here, for the team, for vibing together. For everybody here, focus your intention. Show us what we need to see. Speak that intention with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Star Soul, when you're ready, take a couple breaths here, listen to your intuition, and then type now into the chats. And everybody else, go ahead, leave your wizard noises in the chat. Do you hear the sound of the magic in the air? Do you hear the rhythm as we throw our hands in the air? Just rhymed air with air, that's okay. So let your feet stomp to the ground as we create this rhythm in this beat. May we allow ourselves to remind that it is so cool and so neat to be here in this moment as we awaken to this now. And Star Soul drops the comments. And we see what card it will be. Oh, wow. All right, what do we got tonight? Okay, cool. All right, so the second card that we have tonight that has been pulled on behalf of Star Soul, but for the entire team, is card number 3, which is another card. This is a relatively, 3 of Cups. This is a relatively familiar card, and it's one of my favorite cards actually. I really love this card. So that'll I'll do like a quickish reading of it. For those of you tuned in on Instagram and TikTok, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. That's where the majority of the chat is. Like, that's where I prefer you tune in from. That way, so you can just like hang out with the team and get the full experience. Because there's not like a lot of people on TikTok and Instagram individually. Like, there's 15 people in the YouTube chat right now. So, all right. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to read a little bit more about 3 of Cups. Beautiful. All right, team, let's do this. And again, let's aim for that next Patreon sign up. So if you guys want to sign up for the Patreon while we're doing this next reading, please go ahead. Hold on one second. I just have to restart I knew this was going to happen. I have to restart the Instagram TikTok feed. This happens sometimes where it just like it needs to be restarted. So I'm just going to do that before we jump in. All right. Awesome. Hey, Lise, thanks for joining in. Welcome to the party. We're vibing. Late night tarot. Woo! It's a party. Well, I told you guys before, once we reach 169 on tarot, we were gonna do like tipsy tarot or something. We might have to save that for another. Like, I don't really feel like doing that right this second, but we can definitely do it at some point. Shout out to those of you who are tuned in on Facebook. If you are tuned in on Facebook, again, I encourage you to join in on YouTube. I honestly, the Facebook comments are like, they're not seen right away. So make sure you jump over to YouTube if you're tuned in on Facebook. But either way, thank you for joining in. All right, looks like we got a few more people tuned in on YouTube. Okay, team, let's work on reaching that Patreon goal. Like, we are 1 away. So let's set that intention for everybody here. Let's reach that Patreon goal, I would say, by 12:45. So that gives us 15 minutes to reach that next Patreon goal, and we're gonna get right into this next reading. Just gotta pull up the stuff here. Click, click. There we go. Now I can see the chats. All right. Okay, team, let's do this. So 3 of Cups. This is going to be like a quick reading. And then again, the next person that signs up for the Patreon, which is a monthly micro contribution that you can support and join as a leading member and get access to our private community space and perks and discounts and everything like that. Again, go ahead. You can click the link in the info below and everything like that. So, damn, Mercury retrograde. Just responding to Texas comment. He's having technical issues, so. All right, okay, here we go, team. So looking at this card visually, again, reminder, if you're tuned in, this message is for you. I'm just going to explain it visually. What do we got? This is going to be like a quick reading. We have 3 literal cups filled with what is presumably wine, and they're kind of like semi-transparent over top of this horizon, and they're kind of like in a rectangle, which is very much kind of like a door-ish portal type thing, and above this beautiful landscape. So clearly these wine glasses are drunk by like celestials or something like that. I'm just joking, maybe. But anyways, this beautiful landscape down below. All right, I'm gonna read the image here again. Reminder, if you're tuned in, this message is for you. And for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile and join in on YouTube. Here we go. 3 of Cups, the image. Above a fertile, charming summer landscape, 3 glasses of red wine hover as if on a higher level, meaning it is water's nature to flow freely and thereby find the path of least resistance. Going with the flow of collective emotion means contributing to well-being of the environment, according to one's inner being without neglecting one's own individuality. Through the unhindered flow of positive life-affirming feelings, this card expresses a comfortable position. Be it in the family as the smallest unit within the social structure or in a greater community connection. Every situation is colored by the influence of feelings. The whole is therefore more than the sum of its parts. For the emotional condition of various singular beings has influence on the collective climate. This in turn has its effects on material manifestations. This is how man reaps what he sows. The fertile outcome of collective attempts is expressed in deep connection and humane warmth. By participating in celebrations as they come, common agreement finds its expression in mutual shared joy. Experiences of desire, zest for life, and cheerfulness can be then gratefully accepted as a gift of life. Beautiful. All right, awesome. 1 second. So we're going to dive deeper. I'm going to kind of like channel additional messages that are meant to be heard by whoever's tuned in right now. So, all right. So 3 of Cups. This is a really, really cool card. Like this is like one of my favorite cards. This card has a lot to do with, again, when we see the wine, we see the cups. This is related to like the waters, emotions. And so this card is like really a celebration of the power in which positive emotions can influence other people, and to really be able to show up from a deep place of love and a deep place of service. So this card is a powerful reminder to be able to help us see like our potential, our power, our ability to influence others, and the value of also being part of a community, the value of being a part of the team. A big thing in this is the idea of the experience of connection, the experience of how connection literally helps us grow. When we spend time with each other, when we vibe together, when we are in a resonance, when we are working towards common objectives, and we support each other from this place of the heart, from this place of wanting the best for the other person, this is a powerful transformational experience, both for the individual and for the collective. So this card is really about being able to like celebrate our connection with each other. And that is exactly what we are doing here. This card is very much like reflective of the space that we are creating here as a community. Oh, I forgot to read the astrological significance and the keywords. I'll do that right now. Astrological significance: Venus, Jupiter, trine aspects. Keywords: world of emotion, sensuality, zest for life, pleasure, letting emotions flow, fullness, mutual agreement. Traditional meaning: connection, cheerfulness, collective consciousness, fertility, gratefulness, fulfillment, celebration, acceptance. So again, with this card, like this card can be seen from a few different perspectives. This can be seen from a romantic perspective if you're kind of talking about a relationship. And for this card, it's like really about kind of celebrating the synergy that arises when two people in a shared resonance come together. You literally birth something new, something more emerges out of that synergy, out of that symbiosis, so to speak. And so this card is really inviting us to be able to connect with our heart, to be able to connect with that kind of like to be able to tap into that childlike perspective, to be able to be childlike without being childish is a very powerful way to be able to think of the power of this card when you're really in this place where you're kind of in awe and you're kind of like allowing this natural zest for life to move through you, and you're really allowing yourself to like connect deeply with your emotions as your emotions kind of respond to the world around you and the relationships that you are building with others. So again, this is really about being able to celebrate the power of family, the power of tribe, the power of team, the power of, again, even just how in the same way one person can affect a team, in the same way one team can affect the world. One team can literally affect a larger community, a bigger collective. So this card is inviting us to be able to celebrate this experience of life together while coming into a union as a team, while coming into this shared space, this shared influence of feelings, shared story, shared narrative. The whole is therefore more than the sum of its parts, for the emotional condition of various singular beings has influence on the collective climate. This in turn has its effects on material manifestations. This is how man reaps what he sows. The fertile outcome of collective attempts is expressed in deep connection and humane warmth. By participating in celebrations as they come, common agreements finds its expression in mutual shared joy. Experiences of desire, zest for life, and cheerfulness can be gratefully accepted as a gift of life. So this is a very powerful card that's encouraging us to do essentially what we're doing right now in this broadcast, where we practice coming together as a community and we practice celebrating. we literally practice creating a channel for us to be able to express this joy of simply being in each other's company, of working towards common visions, of awakening within the dream together, of finding other like-minded people, of finding tribe, of finding kin. And so this card, when I think of this card, it kind of like reminds me a lot of like kind of like festival culture, like festival vibe, like kind of rainbow gathering style consciousness. So yeah, very, very, very powerful card for us to be able to receive. And again, it is about letting emotions flow. It is about being able to connect with the zest of life. So let this card kind of remind us of the power that we can create for ourselves when we come together as communities, celebrate each other, and to be able to cultivate this cheerfulness, a deeper connection, and again, new places for new things to grow from. So beautiful. All right, so there's your card there. Drop an 1111 in the chat and drop an affirmation in the chat relative to what I just communicated to help your body kind of confirm that you were listening. So go ahead, leave something in the chat. Like that's like an affirmation. That's like I am or I will something something related to this and related to like emotions and stuff like that. So beautiful. Awesome. Yeah, that was a really, really cool card. So all right, let's take a little bit of a break and I'll read some of the affirmations on air. And again, we're in between tarot readings right now, but we'll also keep an eye on getting that next Patreon sign up. We may even, what I may do is even just kind of take a break until we have a new Patreon sign up ready to go. So I'm just going to kind of like slow down for a minute. So if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and do that. It only takes a couple minutes. So by the time you do that, I'll be ready to go. And again, you can help us reach that next milestone of 169. So you can see the link on screen for those of you even on like TikTok and Instagram. Like you could literally go to the link, patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. And it takes like 5 minutes. You process your card. It doesn't process until the 1st of July. So whatever contribution you sign up as doesn't process till the 1st of July anyways, if that makes it easier for some. So I'm just going to rest my voice and then I'll read some of your comments. Awesome. Thank you again. For those of you tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join the chat on YouTube. I encourage you to do that. That way so you can join in with the majority of the team chat. All right. Kristen says, I choose to show up for myself and my community to help expand growth and consciousness. Beautiful. Dandelion. I am open to connecting with myself and others more. Very grateful to do so. Awesome. Sarah, I choose to show up for myself spiritually, physically, and mentally. Beautiful, Sarah. Star Soul, I am opening to receiving and giving within a team environment. Nice. Awesome. Beautiful. Erica, I am trusting more in the universe. Wonderful. Great affirmations, team. Like I enjoy just reading those. It's really cool just to be able to see all the different expressions that each of us brings, what each one of us brings to this sacred circle. So all right, team, we're just going to chill out here for a bit. I want to give a chance for someone to go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, and then we'll do that next reading for that next person. So I'm just going to kind of like chill out here. So again, sign up for the Patreon and you can get discounts for the shop, join our private team chat, be involved as what we refer to as a leading member. You can join on air for our upcoming team podcast, like literally tomorrow. We do those Thursdays at 8 p.m. EST. All right, more affirmations. Erica, I'm trusting you more in the universe. And Morphic, I am willing to open up more for myself and for the collective. Beautiful. Mary, I connect with myself and others in celebration of life. Awesome. Well done, everyone. Beautiful. Aloha, Jakusa, if you're tuned in on TikTok, go ahead, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. And same with anybody on Instagram. And my sign is a Cancer, so I'm a Cancerian. Yeah. All right, teams, we're just going to take a little bit of a break, and we're working towards that next Patreon sign up. For those of you in the YouTube chat, posting the link there. It is in the top. It's in the info, so you guys can easily find that. And again, even if you're already signed up on Patreon, if you want to adjust your Patreon pledge, once if someone does that, then we'll get right into another reading. Sweet. All right, awesome. There it is. So we did just get our next sign up. We've got Donald signing up at the $5 level. Thank you so much. everybody here, go ahead, give a nice thank you to Donald. And Donald, let me know where you are in the chat. And that way, so I can just confirm. So let me just, before everyone says like, thank you, Donald, and everything like that, let's just give 1 second here for Donald to be able to jump back into the chat. So, Erica, expanding on the affirmation, I am trusting more in the abundance of the universe. Awesome, well said. All right, I'm gonna update the on-screen graphic. So beautiful, there it is. 169. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, we did it. That's awesome. And now I am going to, I'll update the goal in a second. We'll just let it sit there for a second so we can see it. So good job, everyone. We did it. We reached that milestone. So Donald, let me know where you're tuned in from. Yeah, so that was 169. Donald signed up at the $5 level there. So, and again, if you guys sign up, like you can always adjust your pledge even like as you sign up and stuff. So if anybody's like signed up at a $5 level and like later on you want to become like the leading member level, then that's totally cool. So all right, was that now Donald, was that text? Is Donald also text, or is there another Donald? I'm just trying to confirm who Donald. Was Donald text? And once we confirm that, then we will get right into our next reading. So, all right. So, did I spell Donald's name wrong? Yeah, I did. Thank you. Good eyes, Genzers. Thanks. I couldn't, like, it was too small on my screen. I didn't even see it. All right, so Donald is text. Awesome, Donald, text. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for adding your support. So for everybody here, go ahead. You can say thank you to Donald, who is also text in the YouTube chat. Sweet. So I'll just refer to you as Tex for now. That is fine. Yeah. All right. So Tex, which would you prefer? Would you prefer the Lightworker Oracle deck? Sorry, the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck? And let us know, and we'll get right into that next reading. And so now our next Patreon target, our next Patreon goal is 177. So that's what our next goal is that we're working towards. So again, thank you everyone so much for your support. We're gonna keep working towards some more Patreon signups as we go. I mean, obviously, like as many as we can manifest in one broadcast is always a bonus. And again, that's another step forward to just like building an awesome team. And of course it helps support the work that I do greatly. Like it really does. Like you guys help make this possible. And so, all right, Tex wants a Lightworker deck. Let's do this. So let's get right into this next reading. For those of you tuning in on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. That's where like the majority of the chat is. Plus you can like find the Patreon link there easier. And again, Donald, let me know, like if you want to eventually get synced up as a leading member, like that's always an option, dude. So, and thank you again, man. And make sure, like for everybody here, like if you're newly signed up, make sure you're connected to the team chats as well. So like our team Discord server. All right, y'all ready for this? Dun, dun, dun. We did it. 169. Good job, team. 177 is just around the corner. Might take a couple more broadcasts, but we're getting there. So how many broadcasts am I going to do this month? This is going to be intense. But again, you guys can sign up at any time, right? So if people sign up like after the broadcast, if I like wake up to a new Patreon sign up, like, oh, that warms my heart so much. So all right, awesome. Thank you again, Tex. Let's get right into this reading. So for everybody here, thank you so much for just being so warm and welcoming and holding space. We're diving into the next reading with the Lightworker Oracle decks, and again, this is going to be Tex helping facilitate it. So Tex, you saw the other two, so you know a little bit about how we do it. For those of you tuning in on TikTok, now is a great time to jump over to YouTube. Click the link in my profile, and that will direct you over to YouTube. So Let's do this. Just get some water. This will be the last reading for the night unless we have a new Patreon sign up. So like after this, I'll either go to bed or we'll do another reading if we have another Patreon sign up. So we'll play it by ear. Whatever works is cool with me. Doing it for the team. All right, okay, here we go, team. Love you guys. Go ahead, close your eyes for everybody here, practicing just dropping into your heart space. Take a moment to literally just practice breathing. Gentle inhales through the nose or the mouth. Nice soft exhale. As you continue to breathe here, text, everybody take a moment to just be able to bring yourself into the space of gratitude. Gratitude for the others, gratitude for the tribe, the team, and receiving that gratitude as well. For everybody here, I invite you to set your focus, to put your focus on the intention of show us what we need to see, us, individuals, collective. I want you to speak that intention with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Text. Take a couple more breaths, and when you are ready, listen to your intuition, and then gently type now into the chat. And for everybody else, you guys know what to do. Leave those wizard noises down in the chat. And oh, what magic we will find when we stay up to these obscure late times. As the witch's hour approaches near, we will allow ourselves to see so clear the magic that is within this space as we continue to open up to new ways of changing the world with the power of our hearts, in which we all have a place, in which we all have a part of the bigger story as it unfolds within the dream, and we continue to awaken to more of what we have always been. Here comes the now. I can sense it. I can feel the future. Now, there it is. There's like blinking lights and stuff like that. Oh, the lights are blinking. All right, let me set that. There's a purple one. That's the one I like. All right, let's see. I haven't looked at the card yet. What do we got? What? All right, well, we get to do another real quick one, because guess what? We literally got the same card. So double message. Take a moment here to really emphasize. We'll just dial home the fact that we already literally gave this message, and now we're just giving it again. That was impressive. There's 44 cards in that deck. Good job, Donald. That's like a little bonus there. So we literally did that reading before, which Tex, you were tuned in for that, right? Like that's why. Let's do another quick one, Tex. So we'll literally just do like another really quick reading. Like it's usually funny when that happens. I don't know why. It's sometimes it happens. It's just kind of like this weird bonus synchronicity. Like what are the odds, right? Like. So again, the message of that, for those of you who weren't here the first time, this is about being able to bring awareness to the mind and to change the relationship with the mind, to practice mindfulness, to be able to like bring ourselves into more of the present moment and to use our mind and focus it towards like creative gifts and talents. Freaking frick. Yeah, that's a tarot dad at it again. Morphic keeps calling me tarot dad. I'm not sure if that's catching on or what. So... That's funny though. I'll be your tarot dad. Anyways. Alright. Definitely an important message. Yeah, for those of you who didn't hear it, Lise, I know you didn't hear it. Just rewind. Go back in time. So Tex, just confirm for me. Let's do one more quick reading. Okay. Tex, if you're ready, literally just go right into focus on intention. Focus on a new intention. Focus on the intention. Show us what we need to see. Tex, if you're here to be able to follow the instructions, just taking a moment here to be able to take another couple breaths. Speak that intention. Show us what we need to see. And when you're ready, Tex, type now into the chat. Hopefully Tex gets the message here. We're kind kind of ad-libbing it right now. This is like against this is not standard protocol where we have to do like 2 draws right back to back. So it happens. It happens. Drop those wizard noises in the chat. Once we see a new message from Tex, we will pull a card. Well, assuming Tex is here, like I haven't seen a response from him in a minute, so if Tex isn't here, I'll end up I'll do like a step in. I'll substitute, and I'll just like kind of like use my own intuition. But let's just take a moment here. I just want to see if Tex is here or not. There it is. Ooh, that was a good one. Felt that. Oh, it's the same card again. Son of a bitch. No, I'm just joking. Imagine though. All right, okay. Here's a good one though. So for those of you who are tuning in, the card that we have pulled on the second draw, magic card, is number 25, Merkaba Spiritual Protection, which some of you will recognize. We've pulled this card before too. So, which is funny though, because the other one was 24, and then we literally pulled 25. Are we gonna pull 26 next? Is that how this happens? So, all right, let's get right into this next reading. And a reminder: this will be the last reading for tonight, unless we have a new Patreon sign up. So if you guys are looking to stay up a little bit later and you want to keep going, again, either sign up for the Patreon, or if you guys want to increase your Patreon pledge, then I can do one more. But after that, it'll be bedtime for me. And again, that's 'cause we got meditation broadcasts in the morning, right? Like, all right. Okay. I'm going to explain the image here first. We'll move through this one. Come for the live, stay for the sound effects. Absolutely. Thank you again. Okay, so we got 9 people tuned in on TikTok. For the 9 people tuned in on TikTok, now is a great time to click the link in my profile to jump over to YouTube. Again, like it's great that there's 9 people on TikTok. So let's get a couple of those people into YouTube as well, because that's where the majority of the chat is. So click the link in my profile, and that will direct you over to YouTube, and you can easily join there. So for everyone on TikTok, all 9 of you, do that as soon as you get a chance. And let's get right into this next reading. So visual imagery, Merkaba Spiritual Protection. So we've got this visual image of this woman sitting there meditating with this very somber, calm face. She's got a bit of a smile, got like this like blonde hair, and has this like one circle around her clearly, and then kind of like these other kind of like sort of like waves, almost kind of like ribbons in their own pattern, almost kind of like flower petals in a way, but it's like this like beautiful energy that's coming off of her. And you can see this beautiful kind of like huge like emanating version of what is essentially probably her higher self, so to speak, emanating like light as if it's the sunset. And you've got these beautiful pillars on the side, obviously kind of like very symbolic, even the pillars of knowledge, if you think of it that way. And again, kind of like this stream is like on the banks of it, there's like this ancient architecture, which looks like very kind of like Roman, Greek-esque, but could also be seen as almost like kind of like higher conscious dimension, Atlantis, Lemuria. And yeah, just these beautiful colors, somber look on that person's face. And she's also got like little candles and stuff down here. So again, that's just the visual image. That's just explaining the visual image. So let's dive into the reading here. So again, all right, awesome. Thank you again. For those of you tuning in on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. Again, this will be the last reading for tonight. But if we get a new Patreon sign up and working towards our goal of 177, then we'll keep going. And again, when you sign up on Patreon, you can join as our leading member within our private community space, get discounts for the item shop, and lots of really cool stuff. So all right, okay, so let's do that, team. Let's get right into this reading, and we'll keep an eye on the Patreon. But again, this could be the last reading for tonight. You guys get to decide. So here we go. Again, for everyone here, if you are here, this message is for you. And if it's your first time here, drop a 333 in the chat, and then everybody else just be like hello to the new people and stuff. So aloha, Katie. Thanks for jumping over. All right, here we go. Number 25, Merkaba Spiritual Protection. Being open to receive is a way to gain empowerment, strength in all manner of assistance. To enhance receptivity, it can be helpful to declutter and cleanse your energy field. This allows for that which is not rightfully yours to be shed. Sometimes this will include the disowned thoughts and feelings of others. When you release these thoughts and feelings, a spaciousness will grow within you. Then you can receive more of what is rightfully meant to be for you, your divine good in all ways. An open, sensitive person can easily become energetically overloaded, from physical pain to emotional and physiological tension. An overload does not feel good. You may even feel like you are carrying others on your back or in your head. Again, if anything I'm saying here, if it resonates with you, feel free to drop an 1111 in the chat. And again, just listen to this as if it's like a meditation. So your inner vision too can be obscured by the overload. That can make it hard to discern what is yours and what belongs to another. Whether experiencing overload to your system is a usual occurrence for you, or you have a tendency to observe and process others' energies, common for healers, psychics, and mediums, artists, and other sensitive, open people, you will benefit from a spiritual cleansing. Afterwards, you may feel less inclined to connect with particular people or work on certain ideas, even if they seemed very important before the cleanse. This means that you are freeing yourself from others' input and discerning the true priorities of your own heart. To accept a spiritual cleansing now, repeat the invocation below and then relax for as long as you need. This is kind of relative. You can just kind of, it's not fully, it's relative if you have the deck, obviously. With the Oracle card resting face down over any part of your body that you intuitively feel can use spiritual cleansing. You could literally use this with like any object. So it's just basically say like lie down, put like a crystal on you if you want. It's just an idea. You can repeat this process daily for 3 days or up to 3 weeks if you feel that you need to. You can rest for several minutes or up to a half hour or more. If you fall asleep during your cleansing, that can allow you for even deeper clearing. Pay particular attention to what you sense immediately after your cleansing. It is a time when you may become very aware of just who or what has been draining you, and be able to lovingly but firmly say, "You must leave my energy field now and not return without my express verbal permission. Of my own free will, so be it." This oracle is also confirmation for those who have been questioning if a relationship, person, or situation has been draining you or transferring energies or thoughts into your energy field. Your insights are correct, and you can now use this energy clearing process to remove cords of attachment and release any negative energy from that person or situation. Okay, so let's dive deeper. So, no doubt, I'm sure this card is very relative for a lot of people. Yo, what's up? Much love from Toronto. Yo, go Team Ontario. All right, okay. So I'm gonna kind of like riff on this a little bit more. And again, as we're doing this, if we can get that next Patreon sign up, literally as we're doing this, so we'll go right into a next reading as soon as we have that next Patreon sign up. So focusing on this here, this is a very, very powerful card with a very powerful message, especially here and now. I think like anybody who's here able to just kind of like hear this message is something that, again, it's really encouraging us to be aware of how we're investing our energy, how we're kind of like sharing our energy, and not that it's telling us to just kind of like, don't share your energy and everything like that, but it's encouraging us to develop a new level of consciousness in relationship to being able to pay attention to how our field feels, so to speak, how our feelings feel, how is our overall energetic body. But with this card, I'll kind of add a little bit of my own spin to it. When we're paying attention to how our energy body is feeling, and again, which can sometimes feel like emotionally heavy, physically heavy, and everything like that, it's also important to be able to not just immediately assume that the reason you're feeling this way is because somebody is like sucking your energy. You ultimately have to be responsible for being the source of your own cultivation of energy. And so if you're not doing this in the first place, then perhaps if there are other people that are kind of taking energy from you, it's making it way easier for you to just kind of like fall into that place of fatigue. So one of the best ways to do this, instead of just being like, oh, I feel like, I feel kind of heavy. Oh, I got to cut some cords. Oh, I got to lay down with a crystal on my stomach and stuff like that. Not to say that doesn't work, but at the same time, you want to focus on the basic stuff. How is your diet? How is your sleep? Get sunlight, drink water, exercise, meaningful social interaction. Those type of things I always say, because those are the type of things that physically relate to the body. when your body's feeling good, your energetic field is going to be stronger. And then if you do feel yourself kind of like getting into places where people are kind of like overlapping your energy, you'll have a natural kind of like defense mechanism kind of like built in, which I think is kind of the first step, opposed to just like because that's the thing, right? Like I think it's a bad habit if people are kind of like, well, I know I'm an empath. Well, everybody's an empath, so yes. And they're just like, and again, I'm not shaming this, I'm just bringing awareness to kind of like what happens sometimes. And you know, it's about the story we tell. And so if you're telling yourself this story where it's like, oh, you know, like this thing keeps sucking my energy and it keeps taking my energy, I'll tell you the real truth. Your energy can only be taken when you get, like, your energy cannot be taken, it can only be given. You can only give your energy away, relatively speaking. So in a lot of circumstances, you have to fully accept the idea that you are fully responsible for the energies that you allow into your field. And so if you feel like somebody is draining your energy, then that means that you are unconsciously giving them that energy. But it's also an opportunity for you to see it from a place of empowerment, to be able to be like, yo, sweet, this is a chance for me to set a healthy boundary. This is a chance for me to say no to something. But in saying no, I am also saying yes to myself. I am saying yes to my own mental well-being, to my own sovereignty, to my own, just like, again, momentum that I am creating, right? So there's a lot of things that we can do to kind of be able to help, again, sort of like strengthen our energetic field and also cleanse our energetic field. A lot of it is kind of like the mental association, but it does have a lot to do with just the physical relationships that we have within our life, the boundaries we are setting. So again, with this card, it's also a card that really relates to the heart chakra. And again, the Merkaba is like the field around the body. It's like this energetic vessel that holds your physical body. And so you can think of it basically like aura. Even though it says Merkaba spiritual protection, you can kind of think of it just kind of like, this is about like the auric field, the morphogenetic field, so to speak, the crystalline field. And so in this, again, like from this idea, like a big part of it is really just like understanding that, again, you know, there's certain things that we can do that can like kind of like physically help move energy. And a lot of those things are often like things as obvious but overlooked as things such as like physical movement, dance, shaking the energy. Like this is why we do this in the morning broadcast. We're literally like shaking any sort of like stagnant energy that can kind of build up when it gets like attached by other people that we might like kind of like either unconsciously or even consciously let into our field. Things such as like cold showers. Cold showers are a great way to kind of like clear energy in a field. If you're thinking about it from like an electromagnetic charge sense in a way. And again, it really depends, you know, because it's going to be different for every single person. And it's more so about like the thought process associated with the ritual as well. But some stuff literally physically does help. Shaking, dancing, you know, movement, stretching, exercises, that type of movement physically helps. Like I know for one, back in the day after I got out of a relationship and my heart was broken, and that was just part of the experience, one of the most important things for me to do was, rather than just sit there and wallow, which was a part of the process, I still had to feel the feels. That was a part of it, but I couldn't stay there forever, you know? Like that was essentially the lesson. It's like, okay, this is a feeling. I've been here for a bit, but I can't stay here. And so that's where like the physical movement was so important. So even just like changing your posture, just kind of like changing your composition, bringing in that movement, these are all ways that, again, you're kind of like being able to change the relationship that you might have with certain like energies and stories and relationships. And so with this card, again, what I was saying earlier, this card has a lot to do with the heart. And so when we're thinking about the heart, one of the things that I always remind people is that when we're talking about the heart, you know, we're talking about the heart chakra. And so with the chakras, the objective is to be able to essentially balance the chakra, opposed to just blowing it open completely or shutting it too close. And again, and whatever it is, it's entirely neutral, but in order to be able to like work in, to be able to seek that balance is definitely an objective worth approaching. However, there will be times in our life where we will experience kind of like a closed heart. And again, that's where we have trouble trusting people or expressing ourselves. But then other times we may have an overly open heart. And that's where, again, you can kind of be like overly engaged with people. You're helping too many people at the same time, and you're not really taking care of yourself. So again, you know, like this idea of spiritual protection, it's not always like, oh, negative energies and stuff like that. Like sometimes it's also just paying attention to how much of your own energy you're giving away to something, you know, and again, being able to sometimes, if you're feeling like you're just giving yourself away too much, that's a great opportunity for you to make sure that you're, you know, giving time for yourself to be able to recharge, giving time for yourself for you to be able to rest, being able to say no while also saying yes to yourself. So there's an invocation here. I'll read this as we go through this. But again, you know, every single one of us, we have the physical body, we have this energetic body. We have to be able to take care of both. And when we take care of the physical, it takes care of the energetic. And within that energetic, it also carries the mental as well. So like as we take care of the physical body, it actually increases like the mental body, which is like our thoughts and everything like that. So that's why I keep saying, going back to the previous cards, it's like, yo, if you want to practice like mindfulness and stuff like that, meditation is great, but it goes hand in hand with all the other things, such as just helping bring in more kind of balance into your physical vessel, which will affect your energetic and affect your mental as well. So you got to kind of, it's again, it's kind of like a holistic thing. So yes. So again, you know, with this card, I just see this card as a card that really invites us into another level of consciousness, another level of awareness, and another level of responsibility. What is our association like with people, and with like, are there energies that you feel are draining within your reality? And again, a lot of this card is also even it specifically mentions like, oh, you know, like if you're questioning a relationship, this is a great time to kind of question and just be like, oh, you know, like, is this really serving me? Like, is this partnership, like, is this resonating? Like, is this a match frequency, or is it just like butting heads and stuff like that? So again, you want to be able to ultimately find relationships with other people that is harmonious, meaning you share a common frequency. And when you share a common frequency, it's not necessarily like a, you know, give like an unbalanced give and take. It's not like a codependent. It becomes more of a synergistic relationship. So when the relationship feels synergistic, yeah, more of that. Like, invest in that. When the relationship feels like it's more, again, one-sided and stuff like that, pay attention. There's something that you need to be able to choose there. And again, sometimes the choice is like, oh, you end up staying there. And then eventually it just gets like so challenging that you're like, okay, now I have to leave, or now I have to set this boundary, so to speak. So yeah, this is a very powerful card that just reminds us to be able to understand kind of like the connections and the relationships and the stories that we're sharing and creating related to our energies. And again, I think that's a very powerful idea when you just start thinking from a relative perspective that like no one can take your energy. You can only give it to them. Like, even if it's unconscious, which when you look at like the society of the world, that's kind of how it works. Is like we don't give our energy away to like the government and stuff like that. Like we like they don't take it. We like subconsciously give it, so to speak. And again, we do this on an individual scale. So again, this is about really being able to bring a new level of consciousness and awareness to the relationships in our life, to the relationship to our body, to the relationship to our energy field, and ultimately being able to work towards that place of just finding more balance within ourselves, which allows us to just like be aware of situations before we're like already, you know, like invested in a relationship that isn't really ultimately healthy and stuff like that. Your discernment will get better as you continue to kind of grow and learn and develop more of an awareness of kind of understanding like what is right and wrong for you, so to speak. So I'm going to read the invocation here. And yeah, let's do what we can to help like boost the shields up, so to speak. And it's not like just like shields, it's literally kind of like a light, so to speak. So invocation. I call upon unconditionally loving divine protection. The sacred chamber of light, the Merkaba divine light is around me now. I choose of my own free will, under divine authority and grace, to release any and all connections, content, and contaminants that do not serve me through unconditional love. I choose of my own free will to take my life journey in the most joyful and loving way possible. I open to divine grace for cleansing and protection of my integrity at all times. I am free to simply be in the truth of me. May all beings be blessed and protected. May all beings be happy and free through my own free will. So be it. And again, like I didn't explicitly say this, but again, like with this card, like it's not just like literally relationships with people, it's relationships with anything, right? Like your relationship with food, your relationship with media, all of those things affect your energetic field. And in some cases, it may be kind of like an unbalanced thing, you know? It might just kind of be like, it might be entertaining you, but it might not actually be serving you, you know? And if that's the case, it's just kind of like shit that's getting built up. So you want to like clean the shit out of your field, And what does that look like to you? Sometimes it's habits, sometimes it's media, sometimes it's people, so to speak. And just doing your best to kind of like purify your own field while constantly kind of like working towards this place of balance, which allows you to connect more with your own inner being, which is again a process of awakening your consciousness and continuing to level up into more of who you are. And that doesn't mean you won't face challenges in the future, but you'll just have like another layer of perspective as you move through it. So leave those affirmations down in the chat of like an affirmation, like type out an affirmation of how this card kind of like leave an affirmation relative to the message of this card to basically again tell your body that you are listening right now. So type out an affirmation like an I am something something about my energy and my power and stuff like that. So beautiful card. Thank you again. Tex number 25, Merkaba spiritual protection. Pew pew pew. Activate your Merkaba. Activate your Mercs. So awesome. Yeah, and drop an 1111 if that resonated with you. Aloha again to those of you tuned in on TikTok. If you're tuned in on TikTok, now is a great time to make the jump over to YouTube if you guys want to join there with the rest of the team chat. I'll read some more of the affirmations in the chat. So again, let me know, like drop an 1111 if there's like something in there where you're just like yes, my heart heard that message, like message received, got it. And again, that's what we're here to do. We're here to like be mirrors for each other and reflect. So I'll read some affirmations. I'm going to take a break here. So again, team, that may be our last reading for tonight. If we do have another Patreon sign up, we'll stick around for a little bit. So if we get another Patreon sign up in the next little bit, we'll do another reading. Otherwise, we'll call it a night. And that was our third reading so far, which is good. Like those some good readings tonight. Lots of inspiration. All right, let me finish chewing, then I'll read affirmation. All right, beautiful. Yeah, like I like the idea that literally just, you know, you guys tuning into this broadcast, like again, it's not just me. Like I'm not telling you, you know, you use your own discernment. Like I'm just, everything I say is just an idea, right? But if there's something that comes through where it's just like it helps you make a decision for yourself, sweet, you know, like I hope by you guys listening to this broadcast, it literally changes something. Like it shifts the paradigm. It gives you an idea. It gives you permission. Sometimes that's all it is. Sometimes it's like, oh, I needed to hear that, and now I know what I need to do, you know? We've changed lives through these broadcasts. It's really like beautiful and kind of trippy in its own way. Because I don't know the full impact of these. I'm just the person reading this. How you guys take it and receive it, you know, that's the bigger story. Star Soul leaving an affirmation. I am reclaiming my own power and recharging with my heart's natural protection. Beautiful, Star Soul. Kristen, I welcome protection into my energies so that I can better serve the universe and my divine purpose. Awesome. Sarah, I am free from all and any negative attachments. Beautiful, Sarah. And again, you know, part of the lesson, it's not like, oh, I'm avoiding all negative things. Like, no, that's not quite what it is. Like, if anything, you build up like a resilience so that you can make your way through bullshit and quote unquote negative things without kind of like having them drain you in the same way. Like, you're building your endurance. It's like your resilience, your vigilance, your spiritual vigilance. Like, that's what this card is about, right? So what does it look like when you're just like pumped up? So Tex, I will let go of that unhealthy relationship finally. Beautiful, Tex. All right, thank you again everyone for joining in and for adding your support. All right, all right, okay, so Erica, I can see you updated your pledge. So Erica, just confirm if like that works for you. Again, just like based on the conversation that we had earlier, like again, Erica, like I want you to be able to do like what works best for you. So but we'll still work towards seeing if we can get another Patreon sign up as well, but we can do another reading. We'll do a quick one and then that will be the last reading, but if we do get another Patreon sign up after that, we can do that. So thank you, Erica. And some more affirmations. Katie says, I am detaching from the real world and going to the dream time. Good night. Oh, thought that was like an affirmation. Katie, thanks for joining in, and many, many blessings on your continued journey in dream space. Dream tarot. So, da, 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 da. Bum, 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 bum. All right, okay, team. So we'll do another reading. Thank you again to Erica. You guys can give a nice thank you to Erica in the chat, and we'll do a quick reading because I just want to be like mindful of my energy. And then this will either be the last reading, but if we do get another Patreon sign up after that, then we can do one more. But obviously, I just have to be mindful of the time. Okay. Huh. Yeah, see, it's after 1 a.m. So beautiful. Hey, Shell, thanks for joining in. For those of you who are tuned in on, excuse me, for those of you who are tuned in on TikTok, click the link in my profile, join in on YouTube. So again, we're going to move into our next reading. Erica, let me know what deck you want. Did you want the Lightworker Oracle deck, or did you want the Ananda Tarot deck? So, Tarot or Oracle? Tarot or Oracle? Let me know which one. And yeah, again, we'll go into this next reading. Like I said, this will be the last reading. If anybody else wants to, like who's already signed up, if anybody else wants to, again, adjust your pledge, increase your pledge, that's totally cool. And we can still do like we'll do like another reading if there's another pledge increase, or if again we have like a new Patreon sign up in general. So beautiful, awesome. Shout out to Shell. Shell is another one of our Patreon supporters. If you're signed up for the Patreon already, drop an 1111 in the chat. Excuse me, drop an 1111 in the chat if you're already signed up for the Patreon. I'm just like doing a quick survey. If you plan on signing up to the Patreon in the future, drop a 777 in the chat. So just to be able to get some feedback there. All right, Erica wants the tarot, so we'll do tarot. All right. Okay. Excuse me. Awesome. Thanks again. We got about 15 people tuned in on YouTube and 5 people tuned in on TikTok. And again, let me just check the Facebook. If you're commenting on Facebook, make sure you jump over to YouTube. Like, I don't see the comments on Facebook quite in the same way. So if you're commenting somewhere on Facebook, like it could even be like in another group, then make sure you jump over to YouTube. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, Shell. Yeah, I can see. So shout out to again our Patreon supporters dropping the 1111s in the chat. We got Star Soul, Crystal, Erica, Tex, Kristen, Sarah, Dandelion, and Shell as well. Yeah, so again, I think like most of you guys are already signed up on the Patreon, which is awesome. Super appreciate it. All right, team, let's get right into this next reading. Again, I'm going to kind of make this kind of like a swift one. And then again, if we get another Patreon sign up, we'll keep going, though otherwise this will be the last reading for tonight. And obviously we have to go to bed soon, and we have our team meditation tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. EST. So hopefully some of you are able to join that as well. I like how you guys are just kind of like having like additional chats in the chat. So, all right. Okay. So for everybody here, let's move into this next meditation. So for those of you who are willing to do so, go ahead and gently close your eyes, and you can take a moment to connect with your breath, connect with gratitude. Take some breaths. Just allow yourself to be in this heart space, inviting you to focus your intention on show us what we need to see. So just kind of put that signal out there to the universe. I want you to speak that intention with your heart, with your mind, with your words, with your soul. Show us what we need to see. So everybody just take a moment here to focus on that intention. And Erica, when you are ready, take a couple breaths and you can type now into the chats. So for everybody here, you guys know what to do. For everybody else here, go ahead and make those wizard noises in the chat. And oh, what amazing times we will continue to have when we allow ourselves to smile oh so glad. As the night slowly becomes the dawn, we will awaken the sun and we shall sing our song. We will continue to breathe into this breath as we continue to awaken the magic within our chest. There's a now from Erica. Beautiful. All right, let's see what we got. And the card that we have pulled, ooh, this is a dope card. I love this card. Is card number 21, the universe card. This is like one of the, I love this card. This card's super cool. And as we were doing that, literally as we were doing that, huge shout out. We did actually get a new Patreon sign up. We've got Hannah. Thank you so much, Hannah, for signing up. Hannah has signed up at the $5 level. So Hannah, thank you so much for adding your support. And go ahead, Hannah, let me know if you are in the chat. And once Hannah is in the chat, then we can, everybody here can just take a moment to just be able to be like, yo, like, thank you so much, Hannah. So I'm going to update that on screen real quick. So that puts us at 170. So good job, team. So we can do another one for Hannah after this. And then that will be the last one for the night, unless there is another Patreon sign up. But eventually I'll have to go to sleep. So I usually like 7 hours is kind of like the minimum that I need. So awesome. Hannah, let me know if you are in the chat. There's Hannah. Beautiful. Awesome. Hannah, thank you so much. So for everybody here, just go ahead and say thank you to Hannah for adding their support on Patreon. And that's beautiful. So Hannah, stick around and we'll do another reading that you can help facilitate. So I'm going to dive into this reading. So this is card number 21. For those of you on YouTube and, sorry, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. All right, so this is a really cool card. So if you guys are tuned into this, get ready for this. This is like a really magical card. We got 16 people tuned in right now. Thank you again, everyone. And again, we'll keep working towards this Patreon. Like again, like you guys can sign up at the Patreon at a rate that works for you, and it is all equally appreciated. So thank you again, everyone, and thank you for just saying hello and being so warm and welcoming. So again, for those of you who are here, if this is your first time here, drop a 333 in the chat. And the way how we do this is the team reading. So if you are literally here, this message is for you. Like this is your reading if you are here right now. So it's a really cool way we do it. All right, let's do this. So visually looking at this card, number 21 in the universe, we have this visual image of a feminine figure. It's basically like, I don't know if it's a specific, I think it's like basically the image of kind of like Venus from like that image of her kind of coming out of the clam. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, I think it might be that or just something very similar to it. Very kind of like classical painting rendition of a female figure, kind of like semi-transparent over top of the universe. So they're like the physical representation of like the universe. Again, kind of like a celestial being. And again, you can just see the patterns of the universe behind them. It's very kind of like simple design, but very powerful. So yeah, you're just getting a lot of those like blues and even purples and a bit of those reds. You can see this like magical nebula and this very like gentle look on their face. And they're also kind of like wrapped in a cloth. They're kind of like wrapped in like a fabric as well there. And is there anything else I'm missing? That's basically it. So beautiful. Yeah, beautiful image on that card. So awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for just being so welcoming. Yo, Lily, thanks for joining in. All right, okay, let's do this, team. So again, if you're here, this message is for you. We'll keep an eye on the on any new Patreon signups as we go, and the next reading will be for Hannah. So we have at least one more reading after this, and then we'll wrap it up. Unless you guys keep signing up for the Patreon. So I have enough energy right now, so like I'm comfortable. I'm good to go. All right, here we go. If you're here, this message is for you. And if you guys want to just explain to new people how we do things here, you guys can do that. Like while I'm reading this, if anybody wants to just explain to Ridhi. So, all right, here we go. Number 21, the universe, the image. Happy in the light of a deeper knowledge of the existence of the universal divine presence, humans symbolized by a female figure yield to the infinity of the cosmos. Meaning, the last image of the major arcana simultaneously signals the happy end of a phase of development and the beginning of a new one. From a greater point of view, this means that due to previous maturation processes, man is now able to go to a new level of development and rise above his base nature. Now that parts of his animalistic nature has developed step by step to a humane level, human nature is raised to a divine level. Deep wisdom, selfless love, and compassion are attributes that characterize stepping over the threshold of personal ego to transpersonal being. In regard to daily life, it can also be implied here with the image of the universe, and the undertakings in the outer world are now brought to an end. Again, if anything I'm reading here, you can drop a 333 in the chat if this like signs up with you. If this resonates with you. However, the deeper meaning of the present image lies in reaching higher goals. On a more or less conscious level of existence, everyone carries a deep yearning within to become one with the greater whole. The deeper the connection to the divine, the more intensively we experience inner peace, love, and happiness as a positive effect, which results from the melding of the individual soul with the source of its existence. That's powerful. The deep striving of every soul toward the highest fulfillment of true lasting happiness is often pushed to the background by the superficiality of everyday life. I'm going to reread that again. The deep striving of every soul toward the highest fulfillment of true lasting happiness is often pushed to the background by the superficiality of everyday life. Even though it is a seemingly original power that influences our day-to-day actions more than we realize, the search for the lost paradise takes a rather large space in our life. For example, this means that apparently unavoidable chaos resulting from the combination of many factors can reunite as a whole. This can be through the fulfillment of regular duties, making life easier by bringing about closure, or finding one's spiritual identity by fulfilling one's life purpose. Similarly to the seed that grows inside of a blossom and finally into a fruit, the individual soul also grows by means of all its past development and experiential process into higher consciousness. The inner wisdom that follows all worldly events of the harmonious laws of nature, which is based upon our higher level universal order, fills the entire being with deep trust in its own life. Thinking in greater dimensions enables man to put his dreams and visions into practice. In view of infinity, man sets himself boundaries. The image of the universe indicates awakening on a higher level of spiritual reality. The awareness of immortality of the soul gives the individual the possibility of leaving earthly limitations in order to advance to new realms of being. Beautiful. Awesome. This is a really, really powerful card. I just have to restart the TikTok feed real quick, and then I'll go into explaining a little bit more. Excuse me. 2 seconds here. Just have to click that, 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 and all right. Okay, there we go. We're just back live on TikTok and everything. Beautiful. Yeah, drop those 1111s in the chat. Let me know how this resonates with you, and we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into the message here as I just kind of like practice channeling things. But this is a really cool message to be able to get into. I'm just waiting for the TikTok and Instagram to be able to connect. It'll just take like 2 more seconds. So here we go. All right, beautiful. Okay, we're back on TikTok and Instagram. And thank you everyone again so much for joining. All right, okay, so we're just pulled this card. This is the universe card. So we're just going to riff on it a little bit more. So here we go. So this is a really, 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 really cool card to be able to pull. And again, like this card is really reflecting this process of awakening to the bigger us, awakening to the soul that we are, and understanding that the divine nature of the soul in itself is the universe, is the connection to the universe, is the connection to not only the world outside of us, but the world inside of us. And I think that's something that sometimes we need to remind ourselves, is that this idea of like, yes, there are universes around us and everything like that. You can look up into the sky and see them, but at the same time, this universe is infinitely vast and expansive within who we are. So this is a very, very powerful card, and I'll read the keywords in a second. Rising of the subconscious powers, overcoming the past, releasing old habits, connections with higher powers, openness, judgment, reestablishing unity, breakthrough to new worlds, awakening unused potential, transformation, spiritual broadening. Traditional meaning: resurrection, interferes, breakthrough, overcoming earthly attachments, success through clear decisions, the youngest jury, freedom, release, deeply rooted judgment. Astrological significance: Uranus, Pluto, and Aquarius. So for me, as I kind of like, or sorry, oh, that was the wrong one. That's why that didn't make sense. Okay. That was actually for the card before. That was for Turning Point. But if anything I said there resonated, that's just a bonus. Universe, astrological significance: Jupiter, Neptune in the sign of Pisces. Keywords: rediscovered wholeness, happy experiences, rising above oneself. Yeah, it's a little bit more relative. Awareness of happiness, experiences of limitation, peak experiences, putting visions into practice, awareness of wholeness, perfection, completion, perceptive abilities, highest consciousness, ecstatic conditions, awe-inspiring grandeur, rising above worldliness, relativity of daily experiences, inner peace. Traditional meaning: rediscovered paradise, highest level of development, release, promotion, fulfillment of wishes, spiritual awakening, delving into the world of dreams, calling to higher duties, consciousness of oneness, optimism. So again, just kind of picking up on where I left off, this card is really reflective of the journey that all of us are going through right now. And literally, when we talk about this idea of kind of like shifting from 3D consciousness to 5D consciousness, which I've talked about before in a recent TikTok video, where it's like 3D consciousness would be kind of like the opposite of this. It's kind of like the superficial. And that's basically what this card is saying. We'll go through this journey within our life where we'll kind of be caught up in the physical world around us. We get caught up in the superficial. We get caught up in the material. We get caught up in believing that we are our job, or we are our homework, or we are, you know, like just like even like what our parents tell us and everything like that. So this card is, again, kind of like the further end of the spectrum within the spiritual journey, in which you begin to see things from a higher perspective, from the perspective of the universal perspective, the perspective of being able to see the universe with inside of others, to see yourself with inside them. And so this card is really acknowledging and celebrating what is happening on a collective scale, what needs to happen more within other people, and how we can assist within that process. Like, drop an 1111 if you guys are already aware of the fact that the universe is inside of you, and you are the universe, and this idea of unity, consciousness, and oneness. And again, this card can be almost sort of thought of as like 5D, which again, I don't get too caught up in the labels. 3D would just kind of be where we start. 5D is, again, further along the spectrum that moves towards this perception of unity, whereas 3D is more kind of this illusion of separation. When we kind of move to that perspective of unity, this is what the world needs, because even with what's happening in the world right now, the world will not change. This is very powerful, what I'm about to tell you, and I think you guys will understand exactly what I'm saying. The world will not change unless we begin to see ourselves in others. Like, literally, that is literally what is needed right now. When you look at the world around you, like, we need to see ourselves in George Floyd. We need to see ourselves in the people that are, again, you know, victims of racism. We need to see ourselves, and even the people who are on the other side of the protest. We need to see ourselves in the stranger. We need to see ourselves, again, in like people who we might kind of like naturally have this resistance to. And again, as we heal ourselves, as we literally as humans stop killing each other because we awaken to this higher level of perception and this higher level of consciousness, then we will actually be able to heal the other parts of the world. Like, this is kind of a big idea, but it's like we won't actually be able to really take care of other things like global warming and stuff like that until we take care of what we need to relative to our personal relationship between each other. Like that's what we need to do first. Once we can start getting that more figured out, and again, like beginning to shift it more on a collective scale, then from there we'll begin to see ourselves literally in our environment. So you see what I'm saying? So again, sometimes like it happens both ways, where sometimes for a lot of people as they go through a personal awakening, that's literally what happens. You know, like you see yourself in your surrounding, you see yourself in the trees, you see yourself in a pine cone, you see the Fibonacci spiral, you see the sacred geometry, you see the patterns, you see yourself in the stars, so to speak, literally, metaphorically. And so again, with this card, it's a very, very powerful card that really reminds us of what can be both early steps within our awakening, but then something that just becomes grander and grander as we continue to go. And it really becomes not just an idea, but something that we live, something that we express. What happens when you wake up every day and you're like, oh, I am so grateful that I'm awake right now, and I am aware of the fact that like I am an infinite soul having a human experience, that I am the universe having a human experience, that I am like a fingertip of God, a branch, a fractal of like a bigger being, a bigger consciousness, a single organism that is literally like the earth itself. And so as we begin to see ourselves in our surroundings, we're able to see ourselves in others. And as we see ourselves in others, then we'll start becoming aware of where we're creating suffering for ourselves. And as we become aware of that, then we can begin to heal it. As we begin to heal it, that's where we begin to really make this powerful shift on a collective scale. So again, this is a very powerful card that invites us to just begin to bring more awareness to perhaps the superficiality within our life that is kind of like in between us and more of this realization for those who feel called to it. Because like literally like this idea of awakening to the universe within you, it's not going to be for everyone. Some souls will go through their entire existence here on earth this time, and they might not really be feeling too called to kind of explore a deeper path related to that. But for those who are tuned into this broadcast, undeniably you're here. This is a message for you. This is a message to say like you are on the right path. Keep doing that. And as you keep embodying that wisdom shares itself. That wisdom is seen. That wisdom, this is like kind of the call to action. How can you show up to support others and helping them see the universe within themselves? And you do this through kindness. You do this through compassion. You do this through simple gestures. You do it again, you know, through like hugs and smiles and art and creativity. And through this, we're moving towards, again, this new level of consciousness, this new level of awareness, this new level of wholeness, this new level of understanding both ourselves and our abilities as well, right? So like, what does it mean to be a soul? What does it mean to be a soul within a body? What does it mean to be a higher conscious individual? And how does that help you support your purpose? And how does that help you in creating like heaven on earth, universal awareness on earth? So keep working on yourself. And absolutely feel the call, the call to kind of like continue to kind of like awaken up to more of who you are and to help others do the same. That's the message that I pull forth to be able to share with you in this moment. So I could talk on this for hours, but I just have to rest my voice. Let me know, drop an 1111 in the chat if that resonates with you, and leave an affirmation related to that message. So leave some kind of affirmation in the chat. Say like I am or I will. And again, when you leave an affirmation in the chat, that's like a way to like show your body that you heard the message that came through. Good night to those of you who are heading to bed early, right? But yeah, all right, let's get right into our next reading, because this will either be our last reading, the one that we're about to get into. But if there is another Patreon sign up, like I can still do one more. Like I have enough energy, but I'm definitely not going to stay up too late. But Hannah, I'm going to read you guys affirmations in a second. We'll just get ready to move into the next one, Hannah. Hannah, let me know. Would you like the tarot deck or would you like the oracle deck? So let me know which one. The tarot deck is a little bit more symbolic. The oracle deck is a little bit more literal. Both are really cool though. This one's obviously got more specific Lightworker themes. It's called the Lightworker Oracle deck. This one's still very symbolic of the soul's journey. So essentially that's what tarot is. It's like a symbolic representation of the soul's journey when you think about it. So anything that we're seeing, this is like, oh, this is like a chapter in the soul's journey, or this is like a piece of the puzzle within the soul's journey, and it just gives us a chance to kind of like see it within ourselves. So thank you again, Erica, for adjusting your pledge. And again, we'll get into the next reading and I'll read you guys affirmations in the chat. Tex says, thank you everyone for allowing me to be here and share energy. Absolutely, Tex. Thanks for vibing. Yeah, sending good vibes to everyone going to sleep. We'll stay up a little bit longer, but for everybody else, go get some sleep. It's late. It's late where everyone is. So, all right. Hannah wants the oracle, so we'll do the oracle one. Beautiful. Go ahead, team. I'm not sure if I saw any affirmations yet. So if you guys want to leave some affirmations about that card, let me know in the chat. Aloha to those of you tuned in on TikTok and Instagram. We have 5 people now on Instagram, which is cool. Usually Instagram's a little bit more quiet. If you guys want to jump over to YouTube, go ahead and do that. We still got one more reading. This will be our last reading for tonight, unless we do have another Patreon sign up, like as we're doing this reading. But otherwise, this will be the last reading for tonight. And our next reading is for Hannah, which is our newest Patreon supporter. So thank you again, Hannah. Did you guys leave any affirmations in the chat? I didn't see any relative. Like if I were to leave one, it would be like, I am a vessel for the universe to be able to awaken through. That's my affirmation. So pretty beautiful. So go ahead. That last card. All right. Shell's got one. The universe is all within us. The questions we ask are answered within us. When we are present in the universe, we are open and receptive to the messages and the mirrors of each other. Beautiful. Well said, Shell. Awesome. Shell, again, is one of our Patreon supporters as well, one of our leading members. Reminder for leading members, we do have our next team podcast Thursday, 8 p.m. EST. So tomorrow we got another broadcast later in the evening. So stick around for that. That's going to be like all of us getting on air and practicing, having some good inspirational discussion. I'm just going to get some water and then we'll get right into this next reading. I just have to fill up my cup. 1 second. All right, just had to fill up my tea. All right, Hannah, let me know if you're ready. Hannah says, I am one with the earth and continue to connect with the universe and earth. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, Hannah. All right, team. We're going to do another reading. This is going to be for Hannah, our newest Patreon supporter. So huge thank you to Hannah. And again, this will be our last reading for tonight, unless somebody else signs up for the Patreon as we're doing this reading, or even just like slightly after. So again, I'll post a link for the Patreon in the chat. Again, for those of you who may be new, even if you're brand new, like I would encourage you to check out the Patreon and sign up at a later date. But if you've been following me for a little bit and you're getting more familiar with my content and you guys are enjoying it, then definitely feel free to sign up for the Patreon. And when you sign up at the $11 level, you can join at the leading members level, and you can join more of our private team space, join on air for our team podcast, our collaborative work periods, work more one-on-one with me as a conscious media creation coach. And again, to be able to have discounts for the item shop as well. And you get that the $5 level has the discounts for the item shop. Quick note, if you guys like my shirt, that's available through our shop. You don't get a discount for it, but if you guys are just like, yo, I really like the shirt, like you guys can get that shirt. Like I barely make any money off the shirts. Like they're just there just for you guys to be able to order them. So if you guys want to order those, absolutely. Like they're more than just shirts. They're like tools, right? The one here, it says open your heart. Like it says right there, it says open your heart. And then there's like other ones. There's like a free hugs one and a paradigm shift sigil one. So all right, let's get into this next reading. Thank you again, Hannah. So using the Oracle deck, inviting everybody here to take a moment, just to be able to connect with their heart and close your eyes. And Hannah will lead you through this. So just inviting everybody to be able to connect in this space of gratitude. Just breathe gently here. Just taking a moment here to be able to send gratitude so all the amazing people tuned in receive that gratitude as well. And so for everybody here, for Hannah, I want you to focus your intention on show us what we need to see. Us as in the collective, us as in individuals, show us what we need to see. So for everybody here, I want you to speak that intention with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. And Hannah, I want you to take a few more breaths, and when you are ready, type now into the chat as you listen to your intuition, and then we will split the deck and pull the card. For everybody else, go ahead and leave those wizard sound effects in the chat. And so as we dance late into the night, we will allow ourselves to play with magic and might as we continue to pull back the veil within this dream. We will continue to remember that not all is as it seems, for beyond the illusion there is magic within. And so allow us to bring forth that which has always been hidden within our heart behind the mask of who we once thought we were. We will continue to unfold into new ways within this world. Yeah, sorry, Hannah, type now into the chat. That's all you have to do. Sorry if I apologize if I didn't give the instructions as clear as I could have been. Bloop, 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 bloop. We'll just take another moment here. So Hannah, go ahead. You can just take a breath. And when you're ready, just type now into the chat. So there it is. Now, says Hannah. What do you think? Is it the exact same card we pulled last time? That'd be hilarious. It's not. Awesome. It's a new one. I have not seen this card before, so beautiful. All right, so the card that we pulled on behalf of Hannah, our newest Patreon supporter, is card number 43, the 6th Ray of Devotion. So give me 2 seconds here. I'm going to open this up and take a look. And we will dive deeper here, and then I'll explain what's on the card. So I haven't read this card before, so this one's brand new to me. Like, that's the thing. Like, I've only been using this deck on air with you guys, so. All right, okay. Thank you again, everyone. Reminder that this will be our last reading for tonight. However, if we do have another person sign up for the Patreon, or if anybody wants to increase their pledge, we can do one more after this, and then that would be the concluding one. But otherwise, this will be the last one. So, looking at the visual image here, let's roll through this. And again, if you're here, this message is for you. So Hannah helps us facilitate, but again, the way how we do this is like a message for everyone. So allow yourself to just be open to receiving any message of inspiration that comes through. So looking at this image here, this is a very, very powerful image where you can see there's a male figure kind of like down on their knees, and they got their arms up towards the sky. They got like a bit of a very like somber kind of soft smile on their face. And this beautiful sky unfolding in the background. They're kind of like in the middle, almost like just in a valley. You can see these beautiful mountains and just kind of connecting with the sun. And you can see kind of like another version of them from another angle, kind of semi-transparent, with their hands just kind of over their heart in this space of presumably just like gratitude and reflection. And even like the wind is like kind of blowing their hair back. So just kind of like this like serene, just kind of presence. Kind of like underneath the sun in the light. So very, very cool image there. Beautiful. All right, let's read a little bit more. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys want to join over on YouTube, click the link in my profile. One second here. Do that. 1 second. 2 seconds here. Oh, okay. Never mind. That's right. Actually, hold on. I just want to check one thing. Can I do that? Huh. No, I can't. Anyways. Okay. All right. No worries. All right. So again, if you're here, this message is for you. So I'm going to read from the book, and then we'll dive a little bit deeper. And again, if anybody wants to sign up for the Patreon as we're doing this reading, go ahead, and we'll do the next reading with you helping facilitate. So, number 43, Sixth Ray of Devotion. So again, just allow yourself to even like close your eyes and just kind of imagine my voice is like the universe talking to you or something. It's kind of the idea, right? So, the sixth ray of devotion bestows the qualities of persistence, unwavering focus, and intensity of feeling. It is a gift of the strength to move mountains with your will for what you love. When the sixth ray of devotion appears, you are being given guidance that even if you do not seem to have much worldly power right now, the power of your beliefs can conquer obstacles. The Archangel Uriel helps you receive the blessings of the sixth ray now. You are receiving a blessing of the sixth ray of devotion. It is serving your soul growth, and it will help you develop faith in your principles and trust in the power of your beliefs. You will be able to recognize and appreciate the extraordinary strength within you and realize that you have enough willpower to keep working towards your dream, overcoming any obstacle until you are divinely successful. The sixth ray reminds you of the power of love, which can conquer anything and everything. Love is an empowering, motivating force, far stronger than fear. Love is the foundation of authentic spiritual devotion. Devotion to the divine empowers us to bear burdens, overcome obstacles, and manifest all manner of beautiful visions in a world that may at first assure us that our dream is not possible. The sixth ray blesses you with spiritual stubbornness and sacred rebellion against any odds. I like that. Again, as I'm reading this, if anything I say resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. The challenge with the sixth ray is not to become so anchored in your beliefs that you become fanatical, judging others because their beliefs are different. You can be unwavering in your adherence to your belief system and yet honor the fact that there are many paths to the divine union as there are people, that the ways the universe calls you home to love is unlimited. That's a powerful idea. If you do not honor this, you will try to pull people from their own path, which can create unnecessary struggle for them and unnecessary karma for you. The best way to honor the blessing and minimize the challenge of this ray is to share your truths with an open heart and an open mind. Share without agenda. For those working with this energy, the power of mind and emotions will come into focus. You may need to channel your emotional and mental power into worthy projects or practice balancing your intensity with lightness of heart and playfulness so you don't become harsh or despairing if things appear not to be working out the way you believe they should. Then your faith can remind you love always finds a way. This is a really, really powerful card. When Archangel Uriel connects with you, a tremendous power, the power of the earth, is brought to your aid. Uriel brings healing energy and an ability to cause real effect in the physical world with your mental and emotional power. Remember, you are here to shine your light. Others can choose to use your light to see by until they are ready to discover their own inner light, or not. It is not anything you need to worry about. Simply live your truth, trust in your heartfelt beliefs, and devote yourself to love. This is a really, really powerful card. Finally, as the sixth ray has a special connection to religion and love, you are asked to hold the healing power of love in your heart for all those who are evolving through a life experience involving religious practice. This can help counterbalance the judgment and fear that exists in the hearts of many religions that are not of their own, that have been the vehicle through which abuse has taken place. Religion on this planet at this time needs love, support, and encouragement to evolve, heal, and grow in whatever way ultimately serves divine love. Wow, super powerful. And then there's an invocation. I'll read that in a moment. Just gonna riff on that. I just gotta turn my fan off. All right, let's dive in a little bit deeper. This is a powerful card. Again, I haven't read this card before. If what I'm saying, if it resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. Again, for those of you tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys click the link in my profile, you can join in. This is going to be our last reading for tonight, unless we have a new person sign up for the Patreon. You can see on screen we're at 177, working towards we're at 170, working towards 177. You can go to that link and sign up. Again, it's a monthly micro contribution. So just, again, understand what it is that you're signing up for, and it's a super dope way to support the team and connect with our private community space as well within the community. So, all right, we're gonna dive deeper here. So this is a really, really cool card. And again, with this card, a big theme of it is this idea of like spiritual strength. I like how they refer to as spiritual stubbornness, perseverance, and understanding that like essentially our path, what we are here to do as, you know, shifters, light workers, light guardians, our path is to shine our light and to be permissionaries for other people to do the same. And that is literally how we change the world. Some people, you know, maybe in the past, they've kind of like developed this mindset that like, oh, my way is the right way and I have to help people and I have to save them, you know? Like, you're not necessarily here where you're trying to like walk the path for the other person. If anything, what you want to be able to do is invite the person to be able to find their own path, to be able to as you walk your path, you are literally unconsciously or sometimes literally consciously giving them permission to do the same, giving them permission to follow the unique way in which their path will lead them to source, will lead them to truth, will lead them to the divine, will lead them to those higher stages of awakening within themselves. And so with this card, it's really reminding you that like your path before you is there. Like, it already is there. And when you're in your heart space, when you're walking it, like, know within this deep place of trust that as you keep kind of like following your heart, that you're just continuing to move even further along a path that is literally uniquely and customly designed to be able to help evolve your consciousness. Now, again, this doesn't literally mean that like you won't face challenges. It's just changing the way you associate with those challenges. And again, in anything, this card is reminding us of this very, very powerful theme that the challenges are there to help us become aware of our strength, to become aware of our courage. It like chisels things away. It opens things up. It allows us to meet more parts of ourselves. So in this sense, it is really inviting us to be able to find like a mix of both like strength and perseverance, but also flexibility and deep trust and calmness and patience. And so as we continue to shine our light, again, you know, we're holding space for other people to literally be able to see the light within themselves. So how can you be a conscious mirror? How can you be a sacred mirror for other people to see themselves? And again, for many of us, this is going to be through our content, through our message, through, again, you know, it's going to be for everyone. It's going to be through our day-to-day interactions, you know? And in the same way, yeah, you are going to be like working on yourself, and you might not be at that point where you feel like you need to like get out there and shine your light for everybody to see. That's okay. You can honor where you are right now, but at the same time, know that it is like, it is something that your soul is here to do, is literally to be able to help other people see their own soul. And that's going to look entirely different for different people. For some people, it's going to be very soft. It's going to be very quiet even. It's going to be very subtle, almost kind of like a spiritual ninja. But for other people, it might be kind of a little bit louder. They might have thousands of people following them on social media and et cetera, et cetera. But again, with this card, it really brings in a healing energy. It really brings in like this like reminder that the universe really does have our back, and that the universe doesn't give us challenges that we aren't capable of rising to meet. And so how will you change your relationship with your challenges? How will you continue to, again, listen to the mission within your heart that is here to not only evolve your own consciousness, but to literally help awaken the consciousness of the entire collective. So this whole idea of the sixth ray, there's several rays, and these rays are kind of like stages of kind of conscious evolution that relate to like unlocking new powers and unlocking new purposes and stuff. There's 7 rays, and so like this is kind of like almost like the concluding card of the deck. There's only one more card after this, but this card is basically saying like, yo, you're here for a mission, and like you are strong enough to fulfill this mission. And again, even for wherever you may be at a certain part in your path, like allow that to still plant the seed of trust and confidence. And if anything, encourage you even more to be able to be like, okay, sweet, I'm going to work on myself more. I'm going to work on balancing myself more to be able to help kind of like build my physical vessel and build my mental and my spiritual vessel to the point where I know that when those challenges come, like I'll kind of like have this like degree of confidence. And that degree of confidence is weaved in with this deep knowing that like the universe is like supporting you in meeting these challenges and rising through them and intentionally being transformed as a result of them. And again, I think the big part in this is being able to know that your mission is literally to be able to share your love, is to share whatever message you carry that is going to help lead people back to the wisdom of their own hearts, like to share your heart wisdom, while also being in a space where you're honoring the fact that others will have their own unique path. So this is a very, very powerful card. And again, it even mentions here like religion and stuff like that, where it's like, this is a powerful card that kind of reflects on the idea that there's like a lot of like old paradigms and institutions that are kind of like their service is deeply rooted in like shame and guilt and fear, where it's like, oh, do this or else type thing. And so like even right now, like yeah, like a part of the shift is kind of like holding space and energy for again, you know, more people to kind of like see the spiritual religion within their own heart, you know, something that's even like beyond religion and stuff like that. But again, you know, I think the overall message of this card is really a very powerful card that reminds us of this strength that is already innately within us. And so as we continue to move forward on this practice of balancing ourselves, our natural intensity of our light increases. It literally increases. And I like that idea of us being able to use our light to show others the way when they are not shining their own light just yet, or their light is just perhaps like not bright enough yet. So how can we support others through like words of compassion, through curiosity, through, you know, asking them what they're passionate about, through sharing your kindness with them and setting an example by letting your life not be a lecture, but rather simply be an example of how others too can live. You are being seen, like others like even on like kind of like the universe pays attention to what you do. And so like as you continue to lead, even when no one's looking, it invites you into this place to be able to like really create an impact and an impression on those who will naturally cross your path. And so there's a leader within inside each and every single one of us, and that leader is not necessarily going to always be someone who's telling people what to do, but that leader is also you just kind of listening to your own heart, and as a result of that, giving others permission to do the same so that they can lead themselves. So if that resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. This is I like this card. I really like this card. Again, really calling us into our role within this collective shift in consciousness and how we're helping awaken others. If this resonates, drop an 1111 with you. And again, let me know, drop an affirmation in the chat of something that kind of like relates to the theme of the message of this card, so that you can let your body know that you received this message, that you heard it. So something about like an I am or an I will affirmation related to like your strength or your heart message. Invocation. I now accept of my own free will the blessings and grace of the sixth ray of devotion and its blessings of will, strength, purpose, and miraculous power of loving belief. I invite the genuine, unconditional, loving masters and archangels, including Uriel, Christ, Mary Magdalene, and Mother Mary, to assist me and all beings on this earth in integrating the blessings of the sixth ray of devotion. I choose to keep my mind open and my heart soft, my will powerful, and my actions true. May kindness prevail and passionate idealism be tempered by mercy for the greatest good. So be it. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that card. That's a very, very powerful card. So awesome. Thank you again, Hannah, for being our newest Patreon sign up. And yeah, we'll just take a moment here. I'll read some affirmations in the chat, but that was a beautiful card. It's a very, very, very powerful card. So just reminding us of this like divine power that we carry within inside of us. So awesome. It's a powerful way to be able to understand that the challenges are there to actually be able to help us see our strengths. A lot of people don't understand it that way. They haven't been told that it's that way. So Shell says, living our authentic truth is love. Love is our natural state. When we lead with love, others will follow. Each person has their own path. By opening our hearts, we are opening our paths. Beautiful. Well said, Shell. Hey, Stella. Glad you're able to jump on late at night. I know, right? Like late night tarot edition. Felicia. Felicia, I'm glad you made it. Yeah, I can see your comments on. Is the Facebook broken or something? I'm glad you made it over to YouTube. Awesome. So go ahead, team. Leave any more affirmations in the chat of how this resonates with you. For those of you tuned in on Facebook, you can always jump over to YouTube when we're doing these broadcasts. I don't think there's anybody tuned in on Facebook right now. No, Facebook's pretty quiet. Sweet. All right, team. So that was our last reading for tonight. If we do have another person who's going to sign up for the Patreon in the next couple minutes, we can do another reading. So we'll stick around just for a little bit, and then we'll decide if it's calling it a night. And go ahead, you can leave some affirmations down in the chat. And yeah, Hannah, even feel free to let us know how if that resonated with you. I'll read some of the just jumping over to TikTok comments. Yeah, for those of you who are new, who are just tuning in on TikTok, the way how we do this, they're not like individual card readings. We do it as collective readings. So if you tuned in partway through that, like that message was for you. So it's a little bit different than regular card readings. It's not like, hey, this is just for one person, this is a psychic reading. It's like, this is a collective reading for all of us. That way, so like every single person gets to be able to like receive the messages. So again, if you're new, you can drop a 333 in the chat, and then I'll just be able to see who's new. And thank you again. Awesome. Yeah, I'm thanks, Shell. Shell saying much love to you all. Thank you for sharing space. Brendan, your voice is magical. Good night. Yeah, I'm happy to be able to share the magic of my throat chakra to just be able to like make it easier for you guys to listen. I assume that's partly why you guys enjoy listening, because I like kind of like use my voice to kind of like make it sound and soothing and stuff. So Hannah says, love is love, and all love needs to be accepted and given the space to blossom. Yeah, awesome. Well said, Hannah. And again, yeah, like even within that, like literally using the blossom reference. I like that. Do everything with love, says Dandelion. Absolutely. Felicia talking about signing up soon. Hannah, it resonates too closely, actually. I know you say it's collective, but it seemed like it was super directed at what I was seeing. Beautiful, Hannah. That's perfect. I mean, it is that. Like, it's both, right? Like, that's kind of the magic of the individual helping facilitate. It literally becomes both. Awesome. Felicia, I'm excited for you to be able to sign up too. Looking forward to it. Nubin, welcome. Those of you joining in who are new. Again, team, we have 15 people tuned in right now. So if any of those people are 15 people just on YouTube, that's not including TikTok and Instagram. If anybody here wants to do another reading, now is a great time to be able to join on to the Patreon. I have a Bob Ross voice. I'll listen to some of his stuff. I'll have to see. Try to emulate it just for you guys. But yeah, no, I'm happy to be able to hold space and entertain you guys and support and just share some inspiration and eat cereal. Excuse me. Aloha, Miriam. Thanks for joining on TikTok. If you guys want to jump over to YouTube, click the link in my profile. Again, we're just going to stick around here. If we have a new Patreon sign up in the next couple minutes, we will do another reading. Otherwise, we'll be calling it a night shortly. And again, even if any Patreon supporters want to adjust their pledge, you guys can do that too. If anybody wants to adjust their pledge, we can do like one more reading. And that's it. Because I gotta go to sleep because I gotta do meditation tomorrow. For those of you who, again, are on my TikTok, if you guys click the link in my profile, you can join in on YouTube. It's 11:11 there. Yeah, it is. It's 11:11 PST, meaning it's 12:11 EST, which means it's late. Well, I swallowed an oat the wrong way, I think. All right, team. What do you guys think? If somebody's planning on signing up for the Patreon, go ahead and drop a 777 in the chat. And if there is no 77 in the chat, then that will be an indicator that we're wrapping up the broadcast. So again, if anybody wants to do one more reading, go ahead. Even if you guys want to sign up in the middle of the night, like again, waking up to new Patreon supporters is always like brings in a bonus smile to my face. But you guys bring plenty of smiles to my face. I'm just getting caught up on comments here. All right, team. So, like I said, I'm just keeping an eye on. I'm just keeping an eye on any new Patreon signups. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. If we do have another Patreon sign in the next little bit, we'll do one more. But this maybe again close to the end of the broadcast. Oh, weird. I'm just in the Discord right now. Hannah, is your username in the, oh, your username was there and now it's not there. Hannah, I was just wondering if you were in the Discord chat. I saw your username there, like Hama Lamos. I'm not sure if that's you though. I'm gonna add Lunar Indigo. Thanks again, everyone. Tonight's been a good one. All right, okay, Hannah, that's not you. Okay, that's fine. All right, again, team, if anybody here is in the process of signing up for the Patreon, or even if you're thinking of signing up in the Patreon in the future, drop a 777 in the chat. I think we're pretty much at the end of the broadcast, so I'll be surprised if anybody signs up to Patreon like within the next couple minutes. So that's going to be our cue to wrap it up. So thank you again, everyone, for joining in. For those of you who might have missed the beginning, you can always go back and check out the recording. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, you guys can check out the recording there as well. Does it? All right, there's Hannah. Awesome. Hey Hannah, thanks for joining on the Discord. Well, good job, team. I mean, we did reach our target goal tonight. So our next target goal is 177. Beautiful. And Hannah, again, Hannah, if you haven't yet, like, go ahead and check out more info about becoming a leading member. Like, that's through the Patreon as well. And if you decide you want to like join as a leading member in the future, you're more than welcome to. So, and then again, like when you join as a leading member, that's when you get to join like our like collaborative work period. You get access to the rest of the team chat. You can join our team broadcast on air. You also get like additional like just like access to, well, you'll still get access to like some of the exclusive content, but you just won't be able to join the meetings and the rest of the chat. And again, also like the leading member level also has access to me to work with as a conscious media creation coach. Felicia, yeah, the link's down in the YouTube comments. Sorry, like it's in the YouTube info. Like if you check the YouTube info, you'll see the link for the team chat. Yeah. And again, like the team chat, like anyone can, like there's the public channel, but then the rest of the chat is just for our leading members. So that way, so like anybody can join, they can join the public, read the guidelines. Oh, right on. Awesome. Hannah, just saw your update on the pledge. Hannah just upgraded their pledge, their Patreon contribution to the leading member level. So awesome. Hannah, thank you so much. So Hannah, you can just confirm with me here. Would you like me to add you as a leading member inside the chat? I just need you to just like literally be like, yes, I'd like to be added as a leading member. And then I'll add you as a leading member in the chat. And then you'll have access to, again, like through that, it'll take you a little bit just to become familiar with that. But through that, you'll get information, again, about like our collaborative work periods, links to join on air for our broadcasts. Tomorrow's broadcast is a free flow conscious conversation. So it's really fun. Like you get to like join in and just like practice like talking about spirituality as a team on air. And that's like our team podcast. So it's really cool. Awesome. All right, Hannah, I'll add you. You're now added as a leading member. So okay, cool. Yeah, so you can, Hannah, if you want to add a introduction into the member introduction and stuff, and if you have like any like questions and stuff, just let me know. You can see the different channels like for media content. Feel free to like post even in your intro your links for your TikTok and anything else. And if you do have any like questions off the bat, you can let me know in technical questions. I'm going to be working on some more tutorial videos for you guys soon. Just like more tech video editing tutorial videos, concept, thought process. Does it Astrolo? Yeah, we're still on. I mean, I know you jumped in like that was at the beginning of the broadcast. So, Hannah, I'm gonna thank you again for adding your support on the Patreon. It's gonna be best if we wrap up the broadcast in the next little bit. Just confirm for me that you're cool with that. Like, I mean, we did the one reading, and then that way, again, I just need to make sure that I'm getting to sleep at this point. But I super appreciate you adding the additional pledge. So with that said, team, yeah, we're gonna wrap things up. If anybody else has, if you guys just want to leave some gratitude down in the chat, go ahead. You can just kind of say goodnight to each other. Again, for anybody here, if you're still listening, you can always sign up for the Patreon at any point. You can, again, the contributions only go through on the 1st of each month. So if you sign up like tomorrow or something like that, like you're not charged anything until July 1st, and then it'll go through your either your credit card or your PayPal. Yes, it's time for us to go to sleep. So again, for those of you who are here, we have our team meditation tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST. So that's my cue to go to sleep right now and get 7.5 hours of sleep at least, and then we will jump on an air again for our team meditation. So make sure you're subscribed on my YouTube and click that bell notification icon, and I'll post a link for the team meditation into the Discord as well, so you'll get a notification there. Beautiful. Yeah, let's all go to sleep, everyone. Thank you again. And again, if anybody wants to sign up for the Patreon like while I'm asleep, that's always a bonus. And we will be back here once again. Tomorrow we have our team podcast at 8 p.m. EST, so looking forward to being able to hang out with everyone then. And yeah, just thank you so much for creating the shared vibes. It was fun vibing with everyone. It really, really was. So beautiful. Cool. All right, team. Time to call it a night. Mission accomplished. Seeds planted, hearts inspired, souls nurtured. Thank you again, everyone, for adding your support, for hanging out as a team. And yeah, just wishing everyone a beautiful rest of your evening, morning, whenever you're watching this. And stick around. We'll be back on air for more opportunities for us to continue to vibe and grow together as a team. So beautiful. All right, much love. TikTok, Instagram, click the link in my profile to check out all my YouTube and everything like that. Patreon, links in the info on YouTube. Tell a friend and go get some sleep. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. Good job tonight. That was fun. Carry these vibes with you. So good night, family. Good night, good night, good night, tribe. Good night. Sweet dreams.